incentive there is to try to counter force and counter force again. Just because the other team's going to have so many more rifles.
Less helmets, more smoke grenades.
Right. I was about to say, yeah.
Right, that's a good point.
That's basically like the biggest, like the value on the smokes is so high in this round for the CTs. That is for sure.
It might have been a snap decision to buy up, and that's why they went for the full armor. And here they have a fast flank as well as a rotated, and so if they take too much longer, it might get a little hairy for CLG.
Oh, that is crazy. Instant kills coming in from Liquid. This is disgusting stuff. Twist! What on earth is this? Another for Twist. He gets himself all the frags. 4K with the CZ.
It's so dope, man.
Twist.
No, this is too much.
It's so good. Look at this.
He has 4 bullets left with 2 players. That is disgusting.
That's so cool.
Credits to Twist, but put that gun down, man. That gun needs nerfing. This is ridiculous.
See, that's the thing. They also made it so that you have less bullets in the mag, or less bullets overall in reserves. I don't know the terms. I don't know a lot about guns.
Yeah, but they recently updated the gun by accident.
They buffed the CZ by accident?
Yeah.
I thought it was just the Galil and Falmus that they messed up.
I'm pretty sure it's the CZ as well. You know what? I'm going to
back
find
to the
this.
Googs.
Where's my man? Sloth
Squadron.
I think a lot of people in the UK say Sloth Squadron as well, but it is actually Sloth. It is actually Sloth.
Well, more CZs. We're seeing countless CZ rounds here. Man, Twist. He made it look so good. I don't blame them if they buy the CZs every single round after this one.
Yeah. So here's a situation where they had Liquid had 3 or 4 alive last round. Maybe it was 3. And so CLG, do they have the incentive to buy up? It's a tough question. Ooh.
Yeah. The damage. It is extreme at the moment. So those CLG players, they may as well be 2 versus 5. Oh! What is this?
Oh my god, how tall do you think Cutler is?
Oh god! Why is the CZ so good?
That was insane reactions. That was good.
He went up mid alone, killed 2 riflers.
So nuts.
This is a bit heinous, I must admit. Oh, Nitro is going to be in there, ready and waiting with that AK-47. Ali's got an AK as well, but it's not a CZ, is it? Ethan's got the Soul CZ out at the moment.
The question is though, what would the nerf be? Because
I don't know, man. You could shoot water. To get like a water gun.
It's a lot less accurate at range than it used to be. The headshot damage is very low, actually. It's still 2 bullets. One to the chest, one to the head if you have head armor. From that distance, for sure. I think the problem is they nerfed it in such a way that it's so good at guaranteeing a kill. So that it was, because it's an automatic pistol, and here... Oh, wait, did he have... Oh, he didn't have head armor, that's why.
And that's like the levels of fortune there, that you run into the one guy with no head armor for the first pick.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then, of course, they tried to get the trade kill.
In our DNA, we understood the
And
market is
I think
dynamic.
because of the automatic aspect,
yes,
is why they nerfed it in such a way that
If
it's
you're
not much
stuck
ammo
in
overall,
one game
and so it's hard
and
to
you sleep
switch
through
to anything
developments,
else if you pull it
and
out,
at some
which
point
makes it a less
you
useful
might be
sidearm
irrelevant.
for offers. But it also
When we talk
means
to our
that if
sponsors,
you're-
it was
if you're
pure
so
marketing.
likely to
And
get that
marketing
first kill,
was,
what
we
does
need
that
to
mean?
tell
It's just a
them
1v1
something they
versus
don't know
AK
already.
or another rifle. I'm actually curious if there was a buff by accident to it. So I know there was.
Yeah, I'm still searching for it. And hoping I'm not talking nonsense.
Well, this match is in a really weird place because of all the CZ's shenanigans. It's actually been so insane in this one map. I think Twist's play with it may have been one of the sickest CZ plays I've seen.
Yeah.
Actually, like that was incredible. That was really, really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's actually so insane. I'm sure it's something that he does, you know, frequently enough, but.
And here's how did they? Oh, they had two gun saves. So now it's a 5 rifle buy for Liquid. They have a man advantage as well. CLG have a MAC-10. I don't know what Kusta had, but they probably should be trying to recover his gun if there's anything but a MAC-10. and it's Liquid who are low on grenades.
Oh, apparently they actually accidentally nerfed the CZ.
Oh wow.
But then fixed it. So I'm talking nonsense.
Oh, okay.
Please
so
fix the CZ anyway.
Maybe it's just that people are getting, with more exposure overall, people are just getting better with it.
It's a rifle burst.
Yeah. It's a good gun.
Yeah, it is like a rifle sometimes, but you can get extra. Like, the point I usually make is the movement speed allows you to get wide, like really fast, really wide peaks. If you're in a 1v1 against a rifler, you can fight it like you have a rifle with that extra movement speed.
I really think that's the big draw of the pistols. So the damage is close and everything like that. Oh,
push from Nitro, very nice timing, and simply unable to get this split working. Generally speaking, Nitro is still providing presence. The bomb can potentially go down. Quad side is clear at the moment. Wicked does go for a very safe plant. They're stuck on the site, smoked down. And here comes the CTs in numbers. Not too much you can do about that. Nitro laying down his vengeance. And Liquid with the rounds. Where's the money going to be after this? Obviously they get the plant. But look at this half. Look at this half.
Yeah,
trading places.
Trading places, and it's.
And they should force again. They should. The battle of the forces rages on.
Yeah, but they're winning it.
Yeah, they're winning.
They're getting
closer
closer.
To 60.
Yeah,
that's true.
Definitely. I don't think if everyone's on one round loss, which is a tough place to be in. But Liquid just look. You can see how much money they have just by the fact that they have 3 AKs.
Their thinking should be do it again.
I mean that is a difficult. It's
if you
it's
save
not often
one.
you trade rounds and you're supposed to force buy again, but your opponent has 3 AK-47s. Like that's a weird one.
You really shouldn't just do it automatically.
Yeah, the save one round does make a lot of sense at this point. You've got that 3-round advantage indeed, so it's...
Ricky could opt. Yeah. They could have 2, 3, or 3 AKs, 4 AKs if they wanted to sacrifice nades, armor.
Yeah, and be a really solid buy.
They should just be thinking about how to do as much damage to Liquid as possible.
I was actually trying to think what would be the best way to do that too.
I think a bomb plant. I think a bomb plant would certainly help them as well.
Yeah.
Bomb rush to be bomb site. Although, I don't know.
Couple CZs, couple smokes.
Couple tings. I'm assuming this is a technical pause. Okay, so someone has some kind of lag issue. Maybe it's a routing thing. Tell us about routing in Quake, Dan.
What's that? I'm curious.
Oh, I think I know. You want me to... He wants me to talk about how in Quake there became like in Quake 1 the community around it like created a mod like in 2002 or 3 or something which allowed you to actually automatically proxy through like a number of servers if you wanted to get the best possible ping. And so you'd have like all the proxies listed in a server board, and you could have a command which would basically automatically find you the best routes, and that route could be through multiple proxies, but then you get the best ping possible. And obviously like we live in a very different time now because we have anti-lag and internet's very different, or anti-lag netcode and internet generally is very different, but
routing is still routing though.
It's true. Sometimes you can have just terrible routing.
They've actually...
Oh,
they've
routing.
routing,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
sorry, Mr.
They've actually introduced that for matchmaking. So when you're playing matchmaking, you connect via a proxy now.
Yeah.
So I suppose they'll look at what is best for you. So if you have bad routing to the server directly, well, I mean, if your proxy provides bad routing, then they can swap you to another one.
As far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm not concerned, no. Routing isn't a result of the server issues itself, but it's just random based on like how many connections are going in that area, or something to do with the region itself, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate, right?
I mean, it's crazy because like usually why this comes up, and I guess like why I would have discussed it originally, and why James prompted it to me, is the fact that this stuff is actually quite easy to do this and to build it into the client, to have multiple routing options, routing options, but you just don't see it. I mean, eventually anti-lag did come along, so that definitely helped massively. But you could still have, as James was pointing out, you can still have better ping, right? You can still have like routing, like more optimal routing. But
yeah, so the admins are taking care of that problem. It may be a few minutes while they do admin things. So we're going to go to a break in the meantime. We will see you back here, hopefully in a few minutes, when this match will be ready to resume. Stay tuned.
If you're a fan of crutches, then get your hands on this. But now let's focus on an even greater product, Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform.
Wow, James, that sure sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Dan. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system. Just post one to your friends.
Wow, James, that sure is cutting-edge technology.
Radios must be within a 10-meter straight line with clear line of sight and sunny weather with no wind.
Do you keep getting wrecked by hacker noobs online? Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. It feels like there's nothing inside.
That's correct, Dan, but there's more.
Behavioral index to keep you from playing with idiots. An easy way to send in your results. Multiple game titles. And here you can see a happy customer.
It's great!
If you sign up within the next 4 minutes, you will get these items for free. James White's best Christmas songs. Watermelon signed by Dan Black.
Fan är det här?
Welcome back. We are going to continue this match. As you can see, CLG on pistols for this round. Liquid with some advantages, but they lost the man already, but Elige is on a versus pro S flank, and Ricky is finding that out the hard way. Elige going for the full spray. He's got full grenades as well, so he can try to isolate the bomb. In the meantime, CLG are sandwiched, apart from Ethan. He may get one kill out of this, but Stanislaw is top mid, and he's just about missed it. Trade.
I wonder where that bomb was meant to go. Running back through the smoke.
On its own, yeah.
On its own, without its teammates. Buddy system.
Yeah, they can't expect the guys to be down there, but it is what it is. 12 to 10. CLG still with a 2-round lead. Both teams on the bye now. The grenades seem somewhat limited on the CLG side. They've got the smokes, the all-important smokes.
Yeah, I think 3 is a critical number for having like a solid buy, where you get 2 entries to win the round kind of thing.
Wow, that is a shutdown right there on the bomb site.
Yeah, actually just sacrificed 2 people to try to overtake it. I think you would half expect 2 people to be at top banana, so the odds there that you're left live with at least 1 person, but even that seems like a bit of a risk. But you've got to throw Hail Marys when you're low.
4 on 3. The bomb has not been committed in either direction. Liquid with a double construction play towards the B bomb site. Maybe Stanislaw will deter them from making a play towards A. There's still a minute on the clock, but only 2 CLG players remaining. Both trying to get something going on either site, and the bomb is bottom mid. So if one of them gets picked off, then life is going to get even more awkward.
Wow, that is so interesting. That avoids getting pre-fire headshotted. And Ricky's going to have a pretty neat surprise, I think, as he looks up. But depends if Nitro gives up this boost, and he has made noise as well.
But still no one's going to collect the bomb.
That is
so ultimately, you would assume that one of these 2 players is going to get picked off like that, and then the other guy's going to have to run back to get the bomb. But he's just continuing forwards. So I don't know what the play to try and win the round is here from CLG.
Yeah, I mean, you would think this is the type of situation where even though you have 2 alive and there's 4 and 2 are hurt, you would want to save, right? Instead, they're looking to do damage. Ooh. You're not getting very far, sir. Just stalking his prey. A true psycho killer.
I always thought he was a bit odd. 12-11
I was leaving it in-game, but...
12-11 and the money has gone bad for CLG, just like the milk.
What milk?
Which milk?
The milk, guys.
Which milk?
Come on, the milk. You can continue talking about it.
Okay, well...
That's what fierce banana control looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my name's not Dan.
Yeah, it's not Dan, it's Launders. Or
Launders.
Mohan.
Launders.
Govindasamy. How do you pronounce that?
Govindasamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were close. Just Govindasamy.
Okay, Sami.
Yeah.
But I guess I would...
I think that means God.
I don't know if I would say Sami or Sami. I don't think people would say Sami in the UK. Wow. He's really wanting that kill. Look at the StarCraft aim. So robotic.
He's definitely a high sense hero too. Wow. I think he hit him twice in the head with that.
Yeah, he did. He had conviction to that spray.
You've got to believe.
Yeah.
Just like Kusta pushing mid.
That's right.
You have to believe.
This is a tight game now, 12-12, and JDM, where is he? What's he up to in this round? Just normal stuff. Yeah.
There's two ways to die, right? But both of them involve half committing. You've either got to be aggressive or you've got to be passive. But
6 million ways to die. Choose one.
Yeah. Similar to the show, yeah.
Same thing with clutching too. Like you have to pick something to believe in, basically. And we can go back to that. We've got a very fast play up quad here from CLG. The rotation fast from Elige, and right now CLG are just trapped in a small corner of the map, slowly being peeled apart until there's nothing left.
It's
Core
really
was empty.
That sounds gross.
It's really tough to kill the player on top of halls in the first place, but when you don't and you have a smoke set up so just to take forward lane control, if he can see over top of the smokes, they're all useless, and the only way to smoke him out is to actually throw smoke on the balcony, which can be a problem in itself. So it's a difficult problem for the terrorist. Lane is a lot more friendly than it used to be because that truck was such a pain, but it's still difficult.
Grenade sailing in on banana for Team Liquid. Finally in the lead. Will the horsey horse make it over the winning
Line.
the liney line?
Consistency,
In
please.
first place. Do I even English?
How do you score a point in water polo?
Don't know. Throw the ball.
Throw the ball.
Through the thing.
Do the thing, yeah.
In place.
Yeah.
Flashbangs and the odd smoke grenade for CLG.
That's your national sport, right?
Water polo.
It's the first thing
The
I think
Hungarians, the Hungarians actually are massive on water polo.
Oh.
That is their national sport, more
Big
or less.
pool culture in Hungary.
One of my friends, he was dating this girl for a long time. She was like international level or something at water polo, and I learned about water polo from her. And it sounds so savage. Like, that sport is brutal.
I feel like everyone's out there trying to make their sport sound savage. You know, we do that in esports too.
Yeah, but there's less drowning.
That's true.
Of other people in esports.
Were people getting dunked? Is that what?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Anyway, we got the push in the CZs. I mean, CLG has been a really steady climb for Liquid. They've been doing a really good job. So many rounds in a row from Liquids. And the CZs, they've lost that potency that we saw at the beginning of this match. Pew, pew, pew.
Liquid, Nitro has done a lot of work there. He's made it a 4-on-2, and the bomb hasn't even been planted yet. 12 seconds, and they have expendable people to just push the plant from happening. But it will happen. At least there's that money for CLG. But the trades are immediate from Liquid. They survive with 3 players as well. It is all good in the hood if Liquid is your hood.
Is that 7 rounds in a row? Liquid.
On the money.
6.
That was it?
Yeah, you liars.
I think I'm dyslexic.
It's hard for me. The screen's far away. And my eyesight sucks.
Talking about smokes you can't miss. That's another one. And that little crack in it allowed for 2 kills, which is, you know, a big win for for Liquid. The CLG get the bomb plant. Something of a consolation prize. They ultimately are going to be able to buy. They are already able to buy on this round. But once you get that close to being able to put the bomb down, you start thinking about winning the round as opposed to actually just getting a plant.
Right, well, what is the answer for CLG, do you think? They're deciding to go with Yorp onto Kusa on that T side again. It's, you know, we sort of hammer the point home. It is becoming a little bit more prevalent again. There are definitely applications to it, but what's your take? Yeah,
we haven't seen as much from Kusa in this half. He was incredibly useful in the first half, even though his kill count was kind of low. He was getting a lot of kills on rifle rounds, which was huge, and going for aggressive picks at mid is very difficult, though much harder on CT side, or on T side I should say, to be expected to find a kill as an opper, because the CT should never be giving that up easily.
I like to see more 5 AK rounds on the T side.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of good reasons for that. Your high mobility, you don't slow down rushes. You can actually put an opper to use on an execute. Or sorry, a rifler as opposed to an operator to use on an execute.
Yeah, you could abuse the numbers game better for all the aforementioned reasons, the faster plays and so on.
That's a fortunate spray though. That, you know, you look at top teams. Oh wow,
that like peeking before the smoke there is pretty.
A little sloppy, yeah.
That's a bit sloppy. That's asking for trouble.
I think he almost wanted to maybe, but
oh, he definitely did.
It did seem that way, yeah. But that's not enough respect for your opponents. Really, and also if the position that you're in where you're down a man already, it's a risk that goes better without being taken, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it can be seen both ways though, because if you're down a man, you have more of a reason to be more risky.
That's a good point too, yeah. But at the same time, like they hit the deep smoke, right? Ooh, a nitro position at the same time. Yeah, you have the deep smoke, so it's like so if the smoke goes down and then you peek, right? Then you're good to go. And you've got a lot of control on the map for information-wise. You might not have the kill, but you got the info.
Yeah, but he wants to kill. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
the 4 versus 5, he needs to kill, man. That's the problem.
They did try a gamble stack, rocking 3 to A, and CLG, instead of doing that, decided, all right, we've gotten our 2 kills of banana. We know there'll only be so much presence. They rotate 3 over, might be unlikely, so it's gonna be much easier to. Oh wow. Oh, this round is still alive for Liquid.
There's way too much time gone, though.
Yeah, that's
how are they ever going to win this round?
I missed the Molotov C. That's a shame.
I don't think they're ever winning that round with that time on the bomb.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Molotov maybe could have made it so that 1v1 was possible on Banana, but I think he had too much HP to be shunned off actually peeking into it. Man, that's a really tight race. We've actually got somewhere. This could be the last buy for Liquid. Technically, I mean, whoever wins this round should be able to... if CLG win this round, I should say, they should be able to get match point easily. So this is what it all boils down to. Last round we saw Liquid. It was Ethan to get a pretty lucky spray through the smoke. You know, there's skill involved, but he was fortunate. It's not a sustainable way to win the round, so I define lucky. And if they can't do that again, what will they do to earn that opening frag? We rarely saw CLG take this much control of Banana all the way down to the bottom of it, apart from just throwing nades.
You mean Liquid?
CLG. Well, CLG would throw nades, but they wouldn't actually play at the bottom of Banana.
Right,
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Did you see the hats? Party time!
Alright, there's an opening frag. What does JDM do now? Wait.
So they'll be lacking the information top mid. In the first half, you saw Kusta go back for more.
Oh wow, I think Nitro's here to bait. So they have one boosted up, but he's going to take first contact. They're not going to clear this because they wouldn't assume they play 2 CT. And they'll get 2 chances at getting kills. Or the smoke comes down late, but the flashes are so good it doesn't matter.
I think we might have seen those high flashes as well.
Those are good. That might be even better than smoking first.
Ooh, I think Eligi's going to be exposed, but Ethan was flashed off the angle, or was moving anyway. 5 versus 3 retake. The entire Liquid team still alive. No mollies, apart from that one. 2 flashes onto Eligi. When does the push begin? They're looking for picks. They've got the numbers. Ethan forced to his right a bit. JDM falling to the Molotov. 3 versus 1 now. And Kusta will get taken down as well. So Liquid will make their way to match point here on Inferno. Now, CLG got the bomb plant, so they'll have a better buy than otherwise, quite obviously. But that is important. Let's see how much money they'll have. $3,000.
Oh, imagine if they didn't have that bailout, yeah. I think here's a round where you drop a couple of AKs from the people who can afford it, and the rest of them Tech 9. And then the guys who are going to AK armor up. And I guess that's the best they could do. So there's a number of advantages right now. Liquid know first with 100% certainty they're going to force, because it's potentially the last round for them. And they know that they have the economic advantage and the utility advantage. So it's in their best interest to play slow, bait as much utility as possible, bleed them out of map control, and just abuse the fact that they have an op in a situation where they don't have a lot of utility to flash them off angles.
We are seeing those deep smokes from Liquid as much as they can towards Banana. And COG haven't really flashed through them just yet, but there is a different response. Pushing quad quickly, and that is going to do the damage.
CZ killing both players at bracket one more time. That's
look
crazy.
at the response down Banana here from Elige. He needs to do something. He's going to get the kill there. A player was trying to hold him in that spot, and he's going for longest rotation. His health is low, so he's not going to go up top mid. And that's going to be problematic. Leaves Nitro alone for a while. Oh my god, the re-smoke.
That is bad.
That is rough.
So they're going to hold on to what little they have, it seems. 1,400 for the next round. It's not going to be pretty, but CZs are quite powerful, we've seen. Can't believe Twit's got a 4K with one clip.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really nice.
Oh, he did that without reloading as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
The last 2 kills, he had 4 bullets and used 2 on each person.
Wow.
The ding-dong, double headshot.
Actually, losing a player to the bomb, they don't have all that much money. You're going to be buying down to 0 and 5 players. Some utility to show for it. All the AKs they need at the very least. No, everyone's sitting pretty much. Liquid, on the other hand, are a little worse for wear. It's looking like a very good chance for OT.
Where the CZ's at?
Yeah.
Twist, give me the CZ.
It's a MR5, right?
3.
Oh, 3?
Times have changed, Launders.
Times have changed. I'm glad.
So
is it 16K?
10K.
10,000.
Oh my god, thank god. I love 10K. I do not like 16K.
No, me neither.
No one thinks about the economy in 16K. Just auto snipers for the whole squad.
Yes. Yeah, I think we changed it a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how long I've been a fan of Face It.
We never went to the MR3's 16K because Counter-Strike is a game about economy. So I don't buy the argument that you shouldn't have to worry about it in overtime. Which doesn't mean that argument is wrong. It's just 2 different opinions, but
and one opinion is right.
Yes.
And the other is less right.
So I was going to say, this is a situation maybe where Liquid might want to try to do something aggressive because they're 5v5, but they're low. They're pretty much in the same situation that CLG were in last round, but they're on the CT side.
They're playing the bait setup here on Arch. Double Arch again. I haven't seen this on many rounds.
Light presence on Banana for CLG, just one man. Ooh, that's good. Has to jump out of position. Doesn't get killed though. Down to 12. That's worked out really nicely. What an investment. $400 for that. That's pretty sweet for CLG.
Now Liquid are forced away from top mid. Now they have no information whatsoever. And Ethan is deep on Banana. So Liquid don't have much idea as to what's going on. They've got limited utility.
Oh.
Nitro has a flashbang though. And it seems, I mean, now he's got the position to throw it behind the Elige. Although he's abandoning that there and leaving Elige entirely alone. There's the first kill. That flash really has to come in fast from Nitro, but he's not throwing it yet. There it is. But he'll get sprayed through the smoke. Nitro with an angle. Doesn't want to take that fight to its death though. Trying to stay alive there.
That's the round.
I don't even know where that came from. I have no
That's
idea.
it.
Oh, through the smoke.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I didn't even see the time. That's
What
insane.
on earth is that?
They took,
Robbery.
they had everything going for them.
I just, yeah, I thought the round was gone. I was like, that's lost it. I don't know how they retake this. Oh, spray with the UMP free strike. I think that was like max range almost as well. It was crazy. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, what an interesting match between the two teams. You know, I guess on paper, of course, you expect Team Liquid to win. Didn't expect it to be so close and affair as this, perhaps. Are you impressed by CLG? Or what do you think?
They had such a good start. I think we saw like a lot of cool stuff from them. Impressed by individuals in particular, like Kusta and Verkade doing a great job.
My favorite thing is the aggression from Kusta, because it's great to have that freedom, similar to vintage Fnatic and JW, just being allowed to do whatever he wants. Sometimes when you game, sometimes he's going to get picked early, but it's important to have that confidence whether it works every time or not. So it's great to see going forward to CLG that he has that freedom.
Yeah. Oh man, this is quite a disaster. So this is the kind of round I was talking about, where we see the team sometimes, like we see CLG building by brick, but sometimes making a hasty rotation, and they had to execute through a smoke in a situation where A would have been very nice for them.
Here we have all the stats. GG powered by Alienware. And anything to draw from this? I don't think...
He's got the most kills.
Yeah. That's just the other thing. Anything stands out massively to me from the statistics.
Oh wow, Kusta only had 50 ADR, even though it seemed like in the first half he was playing such an important role.
Yeah, the first half he did a great job. I feel like in the first half he definitely did his job, right? And he made some crazy aggressive plays. He did what he needed to do. And I think you mentioned it on the second half he did fall off a bit. And he's a good rifler, but I feel like this was one of those classic situations where we saw a bit too much AWP on the T side from him. Do you guys feel the same way?
I'm not a fan of AWP on T side in general. I think it's a lot of the time it's just not effective, and I would love to see some more 5 rifle plays on the T side of Inferno.
I think there's a couple of oppers like Kenny S or Simple. You give them off on T side, they'll find a kill because they're so incredibly aggressive and so confident. They always deliver somehow. Even versus teams that know all they have to do is worry about Kenny S or Simple, they still find those kills. But the vast majority of good oppers, or just oppers in general, do not have that capability to open up a round versus the very best players in the world on a CT side where they have so many advantages to sit and wait. So in that situation, you know, maybe you should only off on one half. And also, sometimes when it comes down to the strats, are they designed around making Kusta shine? Does he have enough freedom? Does he feel restrained? Does he feel useful?
And this was the thing that that Nothing was talking about yesterday. He's saying how, you know, if you're on the T side with the AWP, sometimes it can work out if the team is playing with like the right kind of pace for you to keep up. But if they're playing a bit fast, it's a bit of a desync because the AWP is not as mobile, not as dynamic, then you get some issues with actually feeling useful. And I think that's generally what happens. And I mean, you emphasize how important map control is, and having just having one guy less to operate from, as far as like being able to aggressively take angles behind like a pop flash and with all the movement, this makes it a little bit tougher to establish that straight away. I do believe we have a Twitter question though. Let's have a look at that. You can molly the CT boost, you just have to throw a slightly different spawn smoke. And there is a link to...
There's a video, yeah, I saw that tweet. Well, thank you very much for that information. We need to go to a break because we are running behind schedule because of the delays in that match. We'll be back very shortly with the next one. Stay tuned, we'll be back soon.
If you're a fan of crutches, then get your hands on this. But now let's focus on an even greater product, Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform.
Wow, James, that sure sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Dan. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system. Just post one to your friends.
Wow, James, that sure is cutting-edge technology.
Radios must be within a 10-meter straight line with clear line of sight and sunny weather with no wind.
Do you keep getting wrecked by hacker noobs online? Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. It feels like there's nothing inside.
That's correct, Dan, but there's more.
Behavioral index to keep you from playing with idiots. An easy way to send in your results. Multiple game titles. And here you can see a happy customer.
It's great!
If you sign up within the next 4 minutes, you will get these items for free. James White's best Christmas songs. Watermelon signed by Dan Black.
Fan är det här?
I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so.
Take 10 steps back, close your eyes and listen. Look from somewhere different. Know that I've been slipping. I fold my tie and ribbon to hide my scars. That's how it starts. Ooh, I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Yeah. Told you so. Yeah. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. I don't wanna be around when you lose control. When you lose control, it's so hard to hold. All this weight up on my shoulders. I hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I told you so.
Cambridge to Boston, lives in a world she's lost in, victim of compromise. He's staring at her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's whistling the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Wasted She'll let torment an angel in disguise. But he can see her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. Oh, he's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shakes her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her scars. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. The girl that time forgot.
Hello, and oh, I was very laid back here. We're back into the action very shortly. We had some delays, as is evident. But how's the morale, guys? How's the morale?
Staying strong, yeah.
It's great. It's fantastic, yeah.
I feel awesome.
I just wasn't. You threw me off with your line of questioning. How's the morale? I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I feel like you're a therapist in some kind of rehab group.
Why is that? Is that because of the setting? Is it because of Lorna's is here? Or?
Yeah, do I look like I need to be in rehab or something?
No, it's because of his question, like, what is the morale like in here? It's like, bloody hell.
How's the morale?
It's a bit
well, we've had delays, we've had some delays, so I'm just, trying to make sure that everything's okay.
Such is life. I'm grateful that we do this for a living. I don't care about delays.
That's what an answer. That's a canned answer if I've ever heard one. I say as he takes the headset off because he has to deal with his asthma, and he cannot respond, so it's fantastic. No comebacks, no snarky comebacks.
Candles in the chat for James.
Yeah. Right, well, quick mid-push on the CT pistol from Liquid, getting that information, and they will be very out of position for A, but it's okay, because you play retake on A generally in pistols anyway.
Yeah. Common thing to do. Nade goes out to default, but it's not a bomb planted for default, it's planted for ARAM and Palace. And yeah, complete retake situations. Everyone's armored up, so they're going to have to move in and frag together. It's relying heavily on their aim here. This double stack's actually become kind of common, but it's gonna be hard to deal with. Oh,
yeah, Twist he just sees it. He just sees it, and he destroys it.
And that's another situation where reaction time almost doesn't play a factor because he straight up pre-fires it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But this is okay. So this is an interesting position, okay, because what we see from the T's here is they plant and then go back to these positions as though it's a rifle round.
Yeah.
And I feel like generally these T pistols are so much stronger when you take these forward map control positions away from the CTs and you get the kills in like choke points like this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that setup's a bit too far back in a lot of cases. You can't catch them coming out the vent. Really, which is the point of weakness for them on the rotation.
So I think teams have found that it's become very meta to push all the way through, even though that's exactly what you need to do. If you don't see any CTs, you should get scared, right?
Yes.
And but going to look to find them is what CTs have come to expect. So I think CLG's answer to that there was, let's get kind of aggressive, but let's try this boost up, where technically if they peek one of us, they have to peek both. But the thing is, they forfeited it for some reason. Like they fell off and figured it was taking too long for anyone to peek. That is interesting how the meta develops, and it's not like there's necessarily a best thing to do. It's just like whatever people are most used to right now is what you try to avoid.
Yes, yeah. And are you favoring one of these teams in this map? Because obviously COG they definitely have some decent play on Mirage. I think it's quite a comfort map for them.
Yeah.
Usually.
Oh, CLG actually it's definitely one of their weak. Right, I think a lot of stuff is out the window because of Ryu. Like when we saw him join the team, it's kind of like they're rebuilding. You can definitely see that they've changed a lot of stuff, and I'd say sometimes looking at previous map stats, if we look at CLG's previous map stats, it doesn't look too great, but we don't know that they've changed a lot of stuff or that they feel confident on it now. All of a sudden, they've got like a new look at it.
Challenge into the Palace, not going too well for Liquid. Ethan just dodging around the pillars. Really good movement from Ethan. He controlled that fight really well. Made sure that JD would peek into him.
Yeah, it's being truly annoying.
This is just for the taking now for CLG. It's a good forward play from Elige, however. Got to make those forward plays in these kinds of positions. Hope to get a bit lucky. A lot of damage has been sustained on the remainder of CLG, so they are susceptible to the UMP and the FAMAS that remains on Liquid.
They're not going to clear this either. You can't imagine. Oy.
Oh, wow, the taps. That's perfect.
They're so mad right now because they just saw two different CTs that got kills, and one was dedicated site, so they realized that B site was completely open, and CLG or Liquid stacked A even after losing 2 players there. So baited and jebaited.
And Kusta has a very tough position. I mean, he can collect the bomb, and he can still decide to go to B if he really wanted to, but it'd be so risky as he has no idea where these players are. But he is just trying to clear A instead.
This is the other thing about A. There's not a single plant spot that is safe from pretty much anything. Like on Cache, like on B, you can run behind the default box and plant and be safe from everything. On Mirage, there's not a single one that's not wide open to a choke point. And so without smokes, this is hellish. Scary.
And at this point, they pretty much know what's up. And Kusta gets tagged down.
Just goes for it.
And that's the round. Really well played by Liquid, actually.
Yeah. Stanislav even making the big rotate all the way through B into Cat. So in case it was a somehow Kusta runs all the way back through spawn and whatever, he probably pretty much meets him there. And if not, he's on Cat to watch the plant. That Twist can't cover that well from Palace. So covering their bases.
Now we get the Deagles here, so just looking to get some damage in on this half-buy. Pressure the economy of Liquids, as you would expect. It's very difficult in these rounds. Again, you have to have some level of luck on your side to make sure that you can get something, but there you go. I mean, there's one from Rika. I mean, it's how much more, though? You don't usually expect more than one or two at most.
You saying that makes this clip a whole lot hotter, Dan.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Rika can get something else. I mean, he's again like he's just sitting in mid, waiting for impatience, and often impatience from the CTs in a round like this can definitely get you kills. There you go. There's one more for Rika, and that's the thing. And that's a lot better, isn't it? Because that's the thing. Like, there's so many ways to do it right. Just throw a flash with the peek. You got 3 people around you, mates. You can flash you into mid. But because you're like, oh well, I've got a rifle, he's got a deagle. You're thinking, I'm fine. You know, sometimes you should just always cross the T's, tick the dot the I's.
Absolutely. I think, yeah. And also, you know, they can't plant at mid, so.
Yeah. No. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I've sort of given up to the point that people, you know, they are just going to try to fight. Even though they don't have to move, because the T's will not move, and no one wants that situation, that stalemate, where it's like, well, we're just going to sit here for a minute and a half.
Yeah. Subservient to impatience.
Indeed.
You don't have to run to throw that. I don't know why people always do.
It's also game plan here for CRG. Just walk through connector. They got the bomb rotating back. Ooh, that's not good. That's a really nice position from Nitro. Basically, sort of like if they were wanting to get someone in position there or stagger a push, split a push, then that staggers it, which is perfect. Staggering the offense is one of the key ways to win against the T side.
Palace control is massive because no one wants A if a CT's in Palace. Oh wow, he almost transfers it well. Completely blind.
JDM has to prove himself one of the best AWPers in NA to pull out this round, but he does get caught in the back. He doesn't really get a chance to make a play, which is quite sad. Would have liked to have seen JDM in one of those sort of back to the wall type AWP spots. Very entertaining to watch. Ooh, Twist.
Oh, that's a good nade too.
Yeah, he seems to know someone is definitely there.
And
oh man,
he's on both.
He was like so convinced forever. Oh my goodness, that's so sad for Twist.
So aware. I think with that molly on default, he assumed that guy's gonna fall up either firebox or under balk and nowhere else. So knowing that he can't clear firebox from where he is, just closes it on that one angle he can clear for sure. And that's a good way to make a one-on-one in a tricky spot. But a round on the board for CLG. Liquid now have decided to force up 3 CZ or 2 CZs and MP9. Any aggressive plays? It looks like of all rounds, this is one where they'll be passive, and one that Palace Control has been completely given up. It's a little bit of a risk to run 2B right out the gate without anybody watching the A flank, because this limits CLG's options. They don't have the ability to go back A safely.
Yeah,
and that burns so much time off the clock.
And it's also why this doesn't really count as a default so much, because you're not taking all of the uncontested control that's available to you.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and that is something to bear in mind, because when you don't see the default, then the team should have something quite clearly in mind that they're trying to achieve. And he was actually spotting that. Can't catch it though. Ethan's still pretty healthy, and Twist is starting to feel the pressure as the force of COG makes its way through connector. Will they be able to take down Twist, though? He's pretty damn good. There's 1, 2. It won't be the third. Ethan is watching the rotation as Kusta snaps down Stanislaw, and that's going to be that, as Nitro also does fall. And a nice round from CLG, just very simple. And then sometimes simplicity is the answer.
It can be key. And they did, maybe they left that A-ramp flank open because they saw that Liquid had pushed it 2 rounds in a row. So we're like, all right, maybe we can feel confident about it. Did they really need that? Was everybody else busy enough to justify not holding it even from spawn? I'm not sure. And, you know, there was a hole in there. There was a hole in that setup because of it, but, oh, they're going to hit a splash. Putting Twist in an awkward spot. Who, by the way, feels like Twist is about to have a monster game just by how he's played these past couple of rounds.
He's got 12 frags already.
Oh, really? Yeah, so there you go.
So, yeah, you're probably right. Ooh, cheeky stuff from JDM. 2K off the pistol.
3 USP kills.
What is happening? No, surely not. Not like this. Elige gets 1 as well. Cutler coming in to poke his head around the corner, and he'll spot Elige. Oh, trying to just dodge around the corner. Barely able to make it. JDM trying to get out of dodge, and he will escape. Cutler cannot pursue. In comes Stanislaw from the back. Cue Stanislaw.
And
as Cutler runs backwards, perhaps into him. There comes the knife. I'll just run through this smoke. Oh no, there's a CT behind the smoke. It's no problem. I'll just shoot him in the face.
Oh, what just happened? That was not his smoke.
I don't understand. That's so weird, isn't it? Let me just run through this smoke.
Yeah, he would just
CT just put out.
Hey, they threw this, but there's no way they're gonna wait for me, and then still get the kill. And wow, look at that timing. But there's not gonna be a peek, is there? Oh my God.
Ihan timing.
How do you explain that?
StarCraft reference.
What did you say?
Ihan timing.
Oh.
Ihan timing. Yeah. Jace won't understand. Not a StarCraft guy. But you'll understand.
Yes.
And so will the StarCraft peoples. The Broodor peoples.
Yes, specifically.
Specifically the Broodors peoples. So yeah, this was a really weird round. After Twist's failed push, I thought it was done for. But they managed to swing things back, and COG have to spend everything in the bank to try to recover here, and they... well, this time, you know, it's more like a default, except they aren't taking any control tools on the pass or eventually working into top mid right now. Is well, the underpass players are coming now.
Looks like on the light buy they're going to go for the fast A split, or somewhat fast. They're doing it safely in this situation. Now, JDM's in a tough spot. He has to figure out how to be useful. Never mind.
He died.
Yeah, he did. They didn't have mid control. They weren't watching window, and they left themselves open to do a split.
That's going to be scary to the 2 CTs in CT because they could get flanked. No B player is trying to do anything about it. So surely they will worry about that. There is no flank coming in, however. Elige taken down regardless, and we'll see if Twist looks behind him. In the meantime, FNS running out completely wide in the Palace. I don't know why he's running out like that from the Palace position. But there are 2 CTs remaining, Stanislaw and Nitro.
I'm really surprised Twist stuck around after the first kill, just to keep the spray, because obviously the traces make you pretty easy to kill there, and he got the kill. He can just back away. His teammates are coming.
And you know exactly where he's standing. That box isn't that wide.
They have loads of flashes. Still a very winnable round, although maybe not. Ethan peeks out, does the damage to Stanislaw, and Nitro doesn't like the look of it anymore. Maybe Twist is feeling that game as well. He's like, I'm going to get 2 kills blind through smoke here.
Yeah, super easily or something.
Maybe that's what he's thinking.
Some good damage though. CLG coming back, but doing it slowly and hindered a little bit each round just because they're losing most of their players. So being quite expensive is nice for Liquid, who I don't actually know. Oh, they might. Doesn't look like they're gonna buy though. Oh, maybe they will.
But yeah, that's why it's like such an important round. I mean, it's such a weird spot. Obviously, they sort of echoed CLG, and CLG were almost in about to be reset. Then they lose that round, and COG win it, and it's like, COG have all the control now. I feel like COG are going to win this half at this rate. They've had some good rounds, actually, so far. Always able to get their rounds going, but the full B push straight into Nitro, this could be the one way that they lose a situation like this. How can they manage it? Spotted by Nitro, finds the head of 1, goes for the spray. 3 players facing at once. CZ's coming to the fray, but looks like it's not going to be a good setup here for Liquid.
I love. Did he hit him?
Oh no! Wait. I'm sorry about that.
I forgive you that.
I wanted to believe.
We collectively forgive you.
That's like you. I need that.
Twist still with the rifle. Oh, so close!
Give me the headshot.
Needs one or two more bullets. Probably two.
Ooh, that was clutch. Jumped up, grabbed the AK last moment too.
Nice.
Big win. Nice.
Broke down for Team Liquid. See what the anti-eco is like from CLG, or if the USPs will prevail once again.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I really like going B versus 4 spies or anti-ecos in general. This mid-control I think is so favorable for CTs who don't have much to lose. They can jump out connector, cast, window all at the same time, like here. And there's 1 kill.
For those of you who are tuning in looking for SK, that match will come after this one. There was a delay in the earlier match, which has set us back, but don't worry, you'll get your SK matches. Fear not. Stanislaw walks to his doom, surely. Doom has been delayed. There is a slight delay on Doom, but Doom is promised.
Doom will resume shortly.
It is all but guaranteed. All your skins back, but not really. Unregulated, of course. Another round in the bag.
5-5. Liquid have enough money to buy. Didn't do a ton of damage to CLG, who made the most of a proper safe setup at top mid. And I think going to top mid is the last place that you can go and be safe, because again, if you get too close to the right under window, you have 3 choke points. CTs can just fly out at you like spider monkeys and crush you with pistols. And when you close the distance that much, I mean, you can't even really blame a rifle for losing a duel, because I honestly think that sometimes the pistols have an advantage. Like, you'd rather have a pistol in certain situations. I think Dan made the point, brought it up. It was the movement speed is a huge draw that nobody talks about as to why pistols are so strong. Being hard to hit is almost as important as hitting your shots versus teams that are this good.
That's a good start for Elise and CT spawn. Usually they have had some trouble getting stuff going from there, but that's going to be a sigh of relief from Liquid Breathed, as 3 players are left for CLG and they haven't gained the ground to the side. They have to give this up.
They just blew a CT smoke. It's like lost a round just because of one single smoke. All the smokes have dissipated. They don't have any left. They can't plant safely. Oh, so instead they go for a big rotate back to B, leaving 2 players here to try to make some like last minute contact. But the thing is, versus 5, they'll never have the retake outs. The most they can get is a plant, unless these players get kills.
Running away, trying to avoid the trade fraggers.
Yeah, the CTs are waiting, almost in a position to wait for the plant, convinced that it'll be on A. So, if...
Oh, Stanislaw's just now moving away from the B bomb site, where he would have had an angle on the window, and he may be yet more entertained with Kusa trying to make his way into the B bomb site, and there's a flank from FNS. Oh, okay, that's an interesting position to plant when you've killed a short player. He could have gone for the high ground. Oh, he's going to make a play into the market. Okay.
Yeah, this is interesting. Oh, man.
He messed up and took a step in market.
That's like a really risky play, but it's really sick, because if he gets that kill, he falls back, and the other guy has 0 idea where he is, and he's created a 1v1 where his position's unknown, which is actually so strong. But you have to take that forward risk, and he was, I think he was right to believe that he had the time to do it. So I do like that, actually.
Yeah, because I think he was surprised to even see 1 CT there, considering his teammates were actually getting kills on the other side.
Yeah.
Just more of a case to rotate heavier, to like stay. You see, oh, well, if they're getting kills on A, that means that they probably think they can plan on A as well, so we're probably going to expect an A hit here after all, and they've just been working at it slowly. But Stanislaw, a little bit too aware in the back of his mind, is like, I can stay here, I can help A, but I can also be close to B. Still gets killed, but that was a really good round from CLG. I mean, that was very close. They got a plant, they got a lot of kills, a lot more kills than they should have, and they did it without any smokes, really, at the end of the round.
Yeah, it was like, that was really nice. Usually that round is just 100% over, and they actually made it winnable, very winnable. Yeah, it was impressive stuff. And it shows, you know, confidence, conviction in the call. You know, a lot of calm in that kind of a position, so it's a good sign for CLG. And although Liquid did get the W there, of course, they don't have much money, if any. So they are very, very susceptible to a reset, I believe. Okay, will find his way into connector is a very good position to be in. Both teams, in fact, cripplingly low on money. So this round is massive and might dictate the winner of the half as far as score is concerned.
Trades being attempted. Liege will get taken out. 50 seconds. Nitro trying to control a potential short push. And it seems the split might be on here for CLG if they can get the kills, of course. Stanislaw catching a flavor grenade in his hand, but a Molotov will force him from his position. Nitro looking under the window, but maybe feeling a bit exposed to short. But it seems CLG have gone to plan B. Cutler can jump into CPL if he wants to. And his teammates are going through the underpass towards A.
Oh, here it is. Twist gets a dink there. His position known now. Playing around the box, looking to his teammates to try to reinforce his position. As one teammate will swing on by. It's JDM. But this is the only avenue they have to work with. Stanislaw is coming to connect. However, he gets a spot on the box. That's a pretty big frag to pick up. 2 players by Tetris. Leaves Cutler to play the distraction and to deal with Stanislaw perhaps. 1 HP. Oh my god, it's so difficult. It's too difficult. Liquid are going to give it up.
Oh, look at that. They went for top connect control, went 1-1. Were able to retain it afterwards, splitting B, and then, or making it seem like they were going to split B. Stanislaw even got a little bit of information, but they did a good job mollying him out, making the threat still real, and going for an A split. That's super nice. So that's the kind of stuff that's harder to get away with on Cash because you can't punish rotations as hard as you can on Mirage. On a big map like Mirage, every time you pull a player, it could just mean the whole round.
It'd be really cool, like in football or soccer, where you have possessions.
What's that accent?
Soccer.
Soccer. What state was that?
It's an American accent, of course.
Yeah.
So it'd be very cool, like in that game, if we had they have the possession statistic. And then you have attempted shots and all this kind of stuff, or shots on goal and all that kind of stuff. It'd be really cool to have the instead of possession, our equivalent, which would be map control. Because obviously the areas which are contested, it's obviously some teams do take more map control, right? And there is an average expected amount of map control per map, and there's probably a direct correlation between that and successful bomb site takes, or other correlations you could potentially draw. But also it could also have a lot of implications for pick timings and how much you get from that. So there's a lot to be done from that avenue.
Oh, I like that a lot, actually. That makes a lot of sense. And I think maybe at the beginning of the game, that wasn't a stat that was possible because people didn't know exactly what would be map control.
Yeah.
But now we have a very clear idea of, connector and cat, or bracket and banana, or
yes,
yeah. So
as you said, there's lines in the sand that you can really draw these days. Yeah.
And you could add points based on time of holding onto it.
It would be a very cool thing to visualize. Got mids. Speaking of map control, mid taken by CLG, but as you mentioned, connector, window, and ladder room are the 3 most advanced positions that you have, contested positions you have before you're in a site. So those are the money positions you want. As a tease.
Stanislaw's done a one-way, which will stand once the T-smoke has disappeared. So he gets himself a kill, but is traded immediately for it. That was interesting. I did wonder why he threw a smoke 3 seconds after they threw a smoke in the same place.
That's big info as well. He saw how many people were there. That's that tells them so much. Also, if they wanted to push let's say B apps, that can give them the idea to be push B apps. It's actually pretty safe to do that potentially, depending on how they read that. But they are holding their positions. They have a forward man here, Twists. He could stop this round entirely. Let's see if he's going to connect the shots. It's Twist. Of course he will.
I think he got some sound cues early from the players running into that direction, which brought Nitro up the stairs from Connector, who is still fighting at the moment. Ethan and Ricky heavily tagged, 8 seconds on the clock, and now they'll have to give up on this one.
He's so good, man. You see, he even got opt in that situation, but because he's exposed so little of his body, he made it really probable that the op shot was going to go through the wall, and that allowed him just continue his spray.
Yep.
Just peeking just enough.
So Twist 17 and 8, slowed down a little bit, but still, of course, wrecking as many people as he can. And 7-6 with the scoreline. Pretty tight first half between these two teams. Double op setup pulled out by Liquid. I think, is this the first time they've done that this half? I think it is. I like how it's Liege there, just spamming away through the smoke with the AK.
Ooh.
Oh, hello. Ricky making massive plays for his side. That's exactly what they needed as well with weaponry they have.
That was dirty.
That was big. That was big. JDM, he could actually do so much damage in this position. There is the first peak.
That flash was just missed.
Simply was not on point.
Yeah. That's a bad miss.
That's literally get your teammate killed.
He was killed-zerized. What is there left to do here for CLG? They've got players in underpass. I mean, A is basically open.
The reason that they did leave A less stacked is because if they do come A through the regular places, Liege will get that info right away or get the kills. And if they don't, he has the best after plant spot possible to retake.
That is, yeah, that's really deep. You will never expect someone to be that deep.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say.
He needs to get off the ledge though before they get to ramp.
Could he not get off without making noise? Or no?
I don't believe so. I do not believe so. 23 seconds.
And there's like I think an explanation as to like how deep you go. And I think there's something that you can quantify when you're taking positions like Liege. We can go into that in a moment as Liege will make his way around through Palace. Again, really great spot. You can see that they are aware that their flanking is possible, but Palace, that's not going to be checked.
Yeah, but you can see the way he planted the bomb was really smart, making sure he was covered from that ramp position. JDM now trying to do what he can. The flank is there though, and the kills come raining in for CLG. FNS stealing away an AWP in the late rounds.
Nice.
Nice bonus for them, and the money's been wrecked for Liquid again.
So, actually avoided that. This is so sick. There's always a good time to come out of Palace. That's one thing I've learned. It's like, it seems so scary. Peek stairs, peek jungle, you're peeking all the sight boxes and stuff like that, but there's actually only going to be up to 2 CTs there. And if you have a good idea of where they're going to play, there can be a really great way to come out, even peek wide, catch someone there watching connector. Common spot to be. Might have been a little bit too overzealous standing up there, but...
Yeah, actually, the wide peek thing is... That's actually a thing I hadn't thought about. That's actually pretty cool. Getting a big wide peek from there.
Oh, my
God. Hello. Oh. I guess he's playing 4-3 then.
Well, I mean...
It looked like
if you're going to do that, you want to leave yourself a gap.
Yeah, it looked like he was not looking too far left, you know. Like, it looked like he was able to see that. Should be able to see that.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I mean, he could have been looking at the radar.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it was.
Because
That's probably what it was.
Depending on the timing of the other kill, he could be looking at the radar.
I bet it was Twitter.
Could be looking in the mirror.
Turn off his monitor for the
How
reflection.
handsome am I right now?
Well, Ethan's going to be the man to make the entries into the A's site. Crawling his way in. And it's so hard to know, but you've got to check as much as you can. There's a good check there. Where's the next player? Twist reveals himself with that CZ, that dangerous CZ. And there's a great timing on the peak when the nade is out, of course. Beautiful stuff for Twist. Did not deserve to die, but he will after time.
Correct.
Yeah, but so the thing I was going to mention actually, so there's these situations, and you see this all the time in CSGO, where let's say you're playing post plant and you want to retreat to a position which is just far enough away where that you can sort of check the bomb or whatever, so, you know, if they're trying to fake it, but they have to run like maximum distance and so on. And that's like a really interesting idea to quantify, because it's all about how much time. It's all about time, right? There's like a there is a number there.
Like
right?
the 5 seconds for the defuse, if it's planted default, how far in A ramp can you be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that position as well, where Liege was around the corner, it's like there's so much time that they would have to. They can't invest so much time because it would ruin the spacing. Because then there's a consideration of his spacing to trade against oncoming CTs retaking from other positions with his teammates. So that's then the consideration. So it's
and I think he initially thought that. Maybe we should talk about after.
Yeah, we will go after. We'll return to this this point as the A side is taken, and we're going to get a retake as you often see on this map. James.
Yeah, FNS picking up the Julies again over towards the B bomb site. Good place to have them, but unfortunately he has to rotate towards A, see if the range works out for him. Ethan with some pre-fire maybe slowing Liquid down. Now he can push with his teammate, two-man peak, but they're facing 3 teams who are charging straight back, getting both kills. Bomb planted for them in CT as well. There's trades all over the shop. The kit is nowhere near these last 2 players, so it's going to make it really hard for them. It may already be too late for the CT to actually win this. Definitely is now. Cutler trying to get some value out of this.
See how meta that was? There were 3 people in CT. Stanislaw holding his flash for so long before even throwing it, because they know that CTs are just going to be sitting there waiting for a flash to come through, probably playing anti-flash or just waiting for the pop to peek themselves, and then throwing a second one even after throwing the first one, which didn't do anything. Because it's just become so meta, this push on T side in the pistol. But, what was that point that we were talking about?
So I was talking about the timing that you have to consider, like that Doing You has X amount of time to go for that pursuit. If Alicia is far enough around the corner, you can just about dodge that timing because they have to maintain a certain level of spacing, and that spacing is in relation to the time that they spend away from a position where they can trade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's FNS. I think that round you looked at it and said, like, oh, FNS is not going to clear halls, right? And that's because he would always have to be vulnerable to A ramp if he did do that. But it he kind of hedged his bets and looked at A ramp and said, all right, hopefully he's not A ramp, and then ended up holding on to halls. But yeah, like in terms of probabilities, Liege did the proper thing. Made it hard to guess that he would be up there.
Okay, well we have Nitro creeping into B. This is really big. This is the play.
Radar.
Easy does it. And that's the B side pretty much clear. Nitro's going to keep going around. He's just going to pretty systematically kill everyone, although the one spot he doesn't check. This is a trade.
They're going to run into the stack though.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Well, looks like they'll get the kills. I mean, would you not prefer Nitro to sit in B and just, you know?
I think go as far as you can. Okay. With the UMP, just go hunting. As much info as you can as possible. Like, you should be winning a fight or two if you're taking all these angles very carefully. If they wanted to lead into B, yeah, they could have used him to do that. But I think they already felt like they won the round. As long as they're always maintaining a man advantage, that is, right? They can't lose him if he's going to give up a man advantage.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay, sees the flashbang, looks away, but doesn't use his smoke to hide. It's a nothing round from CLG. Ethan throwing himself at the opposition.
Actually, like one of the reasons as well, like you were talking about how you prefer the spots where you have a rifle, but you prefer a pistol because of like when a pistol is coming at you, he moves fast and it can be awkward to handle. I think that's like one of the reasons. Another reason why the UMP is like so strong is because it's like really manageable with you also running around. Like it's actually really good as an anti-pistol weapon because of that.
I think the accuracy gets better if you're like running forward with it or something. It's just it's like, especially if you can like close distance at the same time. And so just to be able to stay mobile like that, that's such a huge draw.
Okay, well, it is a slow and systematic cleanup of the entire map here from Liquid. Finishing on A, the spray from Elige. Looks nice. And sit down. Okay, 11-7. Liquid's starting to take the momentum, but it's really this round that could put CLG back in a good place. And what's the Kusta's spawn here? Where's Kusta at? He's got the AWP, he can make plays. We know he likes to get aggressive.
He's got connector spawn, A ramp as well. Oh, he's got a lot to work with. Palace, he could make play here. Looks like he's gonna give it up. Smoke A ramp.
What a teammate.
What a stand-up guy.
What a guy.
Two plays in connector for CLG. Nobody closest yet for Liquid. There's time. And a nuisance smoke top middle to slow them down. Very rarely you see a smoke in that position. Ooh, the crouch peek from Stanislaw, but staying in one place doesn't work out for him because Kusta is AWPing from CT. Nice attempts, but it is Liquid, a man down with 1:15 on the clock, and Cutler's going to Go on a fact-finding mission while the bomb is rotating off of mid, but in which direction? It will be towards Cutler, in fact. 3 players, and he may hear them running. Get himself a free kill. Will he go back to the well? No, he's going to back off, sit on his advantage. Flashbang will certainly help, but Ethan and Cutler, they need to reposition.
That's the problem with being known as a lurker, right? They kill Stanislaw, they assume that if no one else walks out to trade, no flashes or smokes are cascading over the sites to follow up with an execute, that he's most likely by himself. So Cutler feels comfortable by himself walking in.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Oh man, that's the round right there. At least surely was the best hope. Twist is, the time is just critically low. He would have needed that presence in CT at this point. But instead he's got to do it all alone. Twist, he will fall to the triple peak. As you should.
Elise has got to be pissed off, man. What a peek from Kusta.
That's crazy, man. It's like his spidey senses were tingling.
Did he get there from window?
Yeah, he crawled through, so it must have been. Went through the crawl space, I mean. That's going to put the Liquid Money in a bad spot. 3-round lead for the Team Liquid side, but that doesn't look to last very long. However, there are 5 CZs in play. I do wonder if we're going to see the 2 smokes in the arches of shorts and a flashbang over. Kusta left a line for himself. You can wallbang that panel as well.
Did he see? Okay.
He's seen a lot of people walking past and they've got no idea that he's there. So the smokes are going to come in late as far as their push is concerned. Molotovs from his opponents. Cannot turn around to get anything off. And there is the wall of smoke. They haven't lost the player yet, which is very surprising.
Yeah, that kind of looked like Kusta didn't understand how far he had, like what angle he had to take to be safe against the CZs rushing in. That's really put them in an awkward spot. It's Nitro who's picked up the AWP too now. So even though the bomb is down with a minute to play with, COG have to be extremely cautious how they approach this. That's a beautiful play there, boosted up on the little bench. Looks over the smoke. And that could be the kill that really swings the tide fully in Liquid's favor. Got Finesse trying to work through Abs. We'll get the kill, but the bomb goes down. Molotov to delay Finesse. And this would be a great timing to find Ricky, but Ricky is a little bit far away, coming in from the shop now.
No one's checking his angle. Twist is going to be completely exposed, so they didn't seem to have any idea that Ricky could come from that angle. And now Nitro has a lot to do. How do you avoid both these players? He can't do it. Another round for CLG.
He had to make it. He had to get a kill, basically. I mean, if he gets a kill, he can reposition easily. But he had to decide whether or not it was going to be FNS or Ricky to peek first. And he knew that FNS was up there waiting for the Molotov, had a window that he has to cross, so expected to be able to kill him. It was a tough shot to hit, though. And who would have thought that Ricky would come into market that late? That was kind of unexpected, I think.
27 kills on Twist.
That's only around 21 as well.
He's having a wheel of a time.
And that was on, you know, he got all those kills on CT side for the most part, so he's got a lot more room to get frags on T.
I can't help but feel like
Ooh.
that was a very winnable round for Liquid. Like, either way, this setup is it to be a flash? No flash. Twist gonna add 29 kills.
NIP would sometimes throw high explosive grenades there instead of a flashbang.
Yeah,
which I always enjoyed.
Yeah, that's good detail right there. That's meta, right?
Meta, yeah.
Meta grenades. So you can see Liquid starting to gravitate towards connector with 3. Bomb rotating back around towards A. CLG reinforcing B. Twist. Is he going to get more frags here? That is quite a cheeky boost. Catches Nitro. Now Twist turns his attention, or rather, at least turns his attention, but it's Ricky to follow up. Twist gets himself his 3rd kill for the rounds.
Number 30.
And indeed, that is the 30 bomb.
Smoke down for connector. And they'll plant in the less obvious place, just in case of the spray. Also covered from CT. And they'll move back to the ramp and leave Twist in the jungle position. And Kusta is creeping around, but the trains will pass in the night.
That sucks. Like, they have a setup downstairs that wasn't even flashed off of. Twist just walks into the angle and kills both people. So, you know, not only did Cutler, he probably missed because his crosshair placement was a little off, because he's just waiting, obviously.
Yep.
But not only does Twist kill him, but also his teammate.
And in reality, it's like it's funny because, I mean, no flashbang there sort of makes me suspect that they suspect that there's a setup there, because obviously like they had the guys looking away, so they're waiting for that flashbang. So I wonder if that was it, or if he was just going to walk there anyway with no flash.
Yeah, a bit slow on the mark from Cutler there, but it can be quite tiresome to just hold an angle like that. It can make you react a bit slower.
Yeah, that's why you always got to keep moving. Like you got to keep moving a little bit.
Yeah.
Even just with your keyboard, keep yourself awake.
It's an interesting thing that I haven't really had any exposure to any discussions around, because it's all like we talked about it earlier, right? It's about your subconscious mind. That's like really where the reactions come from. It's like that's where like you can't be consciously, because if that's what usually happens with cold angles, is there's so little going on, and you only have to think about one thing. You start to bring too much of your like actual conscious mind into play.
Then the Windows 95 screensaver comes up in your mind.
Yeah,
it's missing the corner over and over again.
That moves around and changes color, just bouncing around the screen.
Yeah, you know, what would be a good analogy. I think would be like trying to squeeze something for too long. Like you can only squeeze onto something for so long before you run out of energy, right?
Yeah,
it takes that same amount of focus.
Yeah, I like that. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Yeah, that's interesting. I want to talk more about this, but we've got the push coming into B here. Finesse is going to find out just that as he peeks into Nitro's UMP. Ricky alone on the site, not an easy defense, especially when Alicia's up in your business.
That's an angle that Shroud would play a lot, and Shroud is so good, and you know, reaction time is different and matters a certain amount, but Shroud has had a consistent, like insane reaction speed. Like you can definitely see there's certain players you can see their reactions are just a slight bit or a little bit better than most others. And
especially tall people,
especially short people. And he can play off like right angles like that, like flat on. But those are T-sided angles, right? Like that's exactly your model is going to move the fastest across your screen if he's coming out parallel to you.
Yes, yeah.
So you want to try to not allow them to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, and so really good people with really good reactions will often play right-angled fights because they're so used to it, but that results in them being inconsistent at winning their fights.
Yeah,
they're just so used to being able to destroy most people doing that.
Even though I even noticed this like a long time ago when I was playing Quake at like a really high level, like right at the beginning, like in 2003. It's like these fights are really easy compared to these fights to hit like LG, like the track. Like, why is that? And I eventually realized that very fact. So, it's very powerful. What is not powerful is 3 USPs and a P250 and a Deagle.
Twist farming more kills.
Yeah, 31. Is that 31? I think that's 31.
Jeez.
31, yeah.
That's nuts. This game's not even over.
It's actually kind of insane. It's quietly just smashing faces. Really nice display of skill from him. But that's, I mean, he's been heralded as the best upcoming player from North America, best young talent. Do you think that's, do you agree with that? Oh wow, another 3 for him.
Yeah, another 3 too. I mean, it's got, you have to have some eco kills in there to get to this high of a number. That's just.
But I mean, he's had so many high impact kills too, so it's like.
Yeah.
As you say, like it's just going to be part of it.
Twist definitely, yeah, he's special, definitely. So it was an interesting pickup.
Ooh.
I always like Stanislaus teams because no matter what team Stanislaus in, it becomes way better than what it was when it started.
Even if he's not like yellow.
There's 30, there's 32. Just I need a counter.
Must be more than that, I think, at this point. Oh, he's going to do more work. He's down to 16. He's one of the last remaining players. In fact, he is the remaining player now. That's the bomb. Plenty of time to work off of as well, though. Being 1v3, they might actually jump onto the toll booth here, even though the smoke's up.
Oh.
No, he's actually going to get off the angle.
Huh? You're giving him so much respect.
Yes. I expected the player on top booth just to jump up there and just peek him.
Oh, the body might block his vision on the high ground. There is a flank eventually coming from ramp. I think he's been spotted now.
Ow.
Does he look for it though? The flank's about to make its yourself known, and there it is, Cutler from the back.
But the body might be in a different place for him because it's client side.
That is true.
So for us, it is obscuring our view. It's very inconvenient for us, I think. But yeah. 35. There we go. 40. He could get 40, man.
Yeah, he could get 40. I mean, technically, CLG. Well, they've still got a bunch of bank to break on Liquid, but
it's actually insane. Like closest teammates like 19, and then 15, then 12.
The normies.
So cool to see. Twist cam. I see what's happening.
Oh, there's the HE. Marvelous. Double ops for CT side once more. Ethan and FNS with French guns. Liquid take their initial presence, moving into top mid. One would expect the connector smoke to go down. It's a rare occasion these days where you see the jungle smoke, but not the connector smoke. But it's always nice when it does come out.
The jungle smoke when?
I'm trying to recall. Sometimes you get the jungle smoke, but not the connector smoke. But I'm trying to remember what the play was that allowed it to happen, but I don't really remember. Unfortunately for me, which makes my story a bit crap. Liege looking for his third kill. The trades continue though in favour of Team Liquid, and the bomb still hasn't been spotted for CLG. They've got no idea where to put their last two players, one per site at the moment, and there is a fact-finding mission towards short, it seems, from one of them. Ethan looking away from Palace.
Oh wow!
Just as Palace emerges.
Stands like go B. Now he's getting aggressive because he just wants to pull rotates. That footstep is going to tell Ethan a little bit more than he should know.
Yeah, he's so expecting another play after those footsteps.
Yeah.
Around the corner, but it's not just happening.
Right. Yeah, his teammate's short in case that player comes from mid.
Oh wow, he's not even going to be useful now because Stan's actually just gone through CT.
Yeah, this looks like it could be huge for Liquid.
What is Ethan thinking?
This is not.
Now?
Oh yeah.
Ethan's kind of exposed to the site, moving back towards Tetris, when he heard someone make a step into the site.
Yeah.
Which is curious, because then what is his thought process?
Yeah, he should have been moving towards B. Honestly, when he didn't hear anything else, I think Stanislav dropped. Sure, the one player was there, but they weren't intending to plant.
I do love the.
I think they were too scared to do anything.
Actually, Ethan can actually pull this one out the bag. He's the bomb. There's a quick frag, 9 health left. Has to get the headshot. Ooh, that was close. Stanislav shuts it down though. I just want to say that I love the timing of when they all came onto the site with Stanislav, because Rick had got the shot and he couldn't even reload before Stanislav basically peeked him. And that timing was very good. And that's like a detail of pro teams that sometimes people take for granted. But that's kind of hard to. That's not the easiest thing in the world, right? To be always cognizant of where are my players around me.
No, I wonder if Ethan even registered the step, because it would make more sense.
I think if
he didn't.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, because it didn't seem like he was taking action based on it.
Yeah, but if you saw where he positioned himself in Tetris, he's exposed to the person he heard on the site, and he's looking towards ramp. Which doesn't make any sense.
But no, I think he's expecting if the player's dropping out of Palace that there's going to be other players coming from T spawn. And then he's looking to cut off those players. Then
no, but what he's saying is that he's sitting in a tough position to hold versus them while be safe to the guy who's already in A. So it's like, was he positive that someone dropped?
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, and if he's expecting somebody to come from ramp, then the T's don't know if ramp is safe. So he can entirely be peeked by the person who's on the site, which is why I don't think he heard the step. There was no reaction.
Maybe a teammate was talking on comms at that time.
Yeah, Ricky was in a weird spot too. He was watching for Stanislav or someone to big flank, which I'm not sure he could have known that was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Actually, he was looking for that.
This is strange. We need to get into the comms.
Yeah.
Pistol round for CLG. Well, I say pistol round, it's a force buy. They're against match point. They have no choice. Choice has been taken away. A late top mid smoke from Elige. Ooh, it's jumping smoke. Where is that going? That does not look like a normal smoke. Ooh, that is the second smoke, which goes towards the short position for a fast B split. And that's exactly what they're doing. 3 players deep in the A bomb site for CLG. FNS caught rotating, has no idea what's going on. It's going to leave Rookie in the ladder room. He has to free kill, picks up an AK, and maybe some position as well.
Oh, it looks like it could be it for CLG, down to a 2 versus 4. That bomb planted, taps coming for Ricky. That's a nice and very confident, calm tap there onto Twist, but now his teammate's dead, and he's only got 15 HP against 3, so he's surely not long for this world. In goes a grenade. Not going to do too much though. And that's all she wrote. Team Liquid 16, CLG 10. Twist unfortunately couldn't go further than 35, but I think 35 is enough.
What a scrub.
35 is pretty legit. And that will be the GG powered by Alienware as we now witness the highlights. It was a game that looks like it really could go either way for quite some time, but Liquid started to pull ahead. And I feel like as well we started to see that individual skill sort of be unlocked. Saw more explosiveness from Elige and Nitro towards the second half.
I like to be on anti-ecos, Twist making huge plays, Ricky doing his best here to bail his team out of a tough spot. But overall, Liquid with some good awareness, hot individual skill. Come with a pretty clean victory. Here's a round-defining moment.
Yeah, that was really nice from Twist. That 2K in the pass, fantastic game from him. Pat on the back for the young lads. He is a young geezer, but doing well with limited experience. Here are the statistics. Twist going crazy with 145 ADR, almost 4,000 damage. Good stuff for him. We're going to move through this match pretty swiftly, and this post-match GG section powered by Alienware, because we are about 40 minutes behind schedule because of an earlier delay. So we have SK coming up. Who are they playing that?
SK versus Renegades. Cobblestone will be the first map hitting you guys after the break. Stay tuned. We'll see you for that.
If you're a fan of crutches, then get your hands on this. But now let's focus on an even greater product, Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform.
Wow, James, that sure sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Dan. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system. Just post one to your friends.
Wow, James, that sure is cutting-edge technology.
Radios must be within a 10-meter straight line with clear line of sight and sunny weather with no wind.
Do you keep getting wrecked by hacker noobs online? Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. It feels like there's nothing inside.
That's correct, Dan, but there's more.
Behavioral index to keep you from playing with idiots. An easy way to send in your results. Multiple game titles. And here you can see a happy customer.
It's great!
If you sign up within the next 4 minutes, you will get these items for free. James White's best Christmas songs. Watermelon signed by Dan Black.
Vad fan är det här?
I'm here where endless meets the end. Do you see me? I'm hidden here again. Your whispers found its way.
Freeze, mother bitches. I don't remember what film that's from. Do you know what film that's from?
That sounds like what was his name from Community? Asian teacher.
I think it was an Asian guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got Renegades on. They're going to be defending to kick things off in their first match of this season of ECS. As a nifty Nafly, a Optic refugee, Ustilo and JKS. Let's see what these boys have in store for SK Gaming, who are, or maybe have something in store for Renegades since they're on the aggressive side. The bomb should be lost immediately. No one's seen Ustilo just yet. He is picking them off one by one. They have no idea he's there.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not quite getting that kill. And I mean, he was in a position to win him the round, but it can be awkward to just land that pistol shot when people are moving ever so slightly. So perhaps advantage has come and gone for Renegades. 2 versus 3, Nifty and JKS. They still got flashes, still got a defuse kit, and Nifty no longer has his head. JKS just fishing for something. They will rue this if they lose this, and they will lose it.
Oh my gosh. The man advantage lived and died with him there. And he missed so many shots. And it's really tough when somebody is strafing, and I think that's because when someone's looking at you, you can predict which way they're going to move. But if they're not looking at you, it's kind of like shooting at a bot. You know, sometimes it can be very hard to anticipate their movement.
A lot more awkward than it looks, I assure you. There's no need to rage. Put your Twitter messages away. Press the backspace button. 4 high explosive grenades for Renegades. SK, I'm sure, will have a slow and measured approach to this, but they'll still go for the early Renegades grenades. Early grenades, Renegades.
Early grenades.
Yeah, I mean, you should, I would say, KYO, know your opponent. SK are very unlikely to be there with that timing, so I do think that was a waste.
Yeah, a little bit. There was no tell either. It was.
You'd hear them anyway.
Yeah, they would hear them. Yeah, that's true. And if they were walking, they would have taken much longer. So they just didn't have that.
It's a lack of focus, and that does not bode well for round 2 of Cobblestone.
Not very good. Panic rotate in. As all the terrorists aggress onto the site. Bomb will go down safely, and maybe no more players will die because Fur is going to hear that players are rotating out, and we'll pick up.
Do you even want to give them the kills in this situation? I think some teams don't go towards the A site here with USPs and a 5-7, especially with the expected SMGs.
Are you saying for Fur not to push?
No, that the CTs could. Well, they basically went for I don't know what towards the A site. But some people would just like go to T spawn or something.
No, absolutely. I think you should not give them the kill reward. I think it's actually they should pressure Fur into having to push as a lurk to get as much money for the SMGs as possible. I don't even think SK should have went to hunt them with the AKs. I think people don't think about how much money they're making. They think about more about winning the round than anything else. Oh wow.
Nice. I've learned to almost give up and just suggesting these things. Because it happens still so often. People just want the kills.
Yeah, people just want the kills.
They just want the kills. They don't think about the money implications later on. Because the thing is that like even if it's not the SMG kill reward, even if it's like just like a regular $300, that's still a smoke grenade later on. And how many times do we see teams just like having to make the decision between like a helmet and a smoke grenade? It's just.
We get 3 kills of those Mac 10s. That's $1,800.
Yeah, that's.
So when you're trying to win your first buy round on the CT side, you don't want them to have that kind of money.
Yeah, and you think, okay, well, maybe they think they can win, but if you look at like what kills are hardest to get, retake kills are hardest to get. Yeah, it's defending on a site is hard enough with USPs. Retake kills are that much more difficult.
That's the thing. Like you can take some really sneaky setups that are so hard to punish, but people will run into them because they just want the kills sometimes, and they're expecting it to be easier. Or there's that perceived advantage Mac 10 versus armorless, helmetless player. But into this round, we're starting to see Renegades looking fairly cozy. The kill of Phelps will definitely help. Good job from Nifty there. SK looking pretty intent on this drop area. They still have a player lurking towards the A-long area as well. For winning position here, drop.
Anybody wants to learn how to take drop, just watch SK. They do it in a way that's almost impossible to deal with. They'll fake drop as many times as they need to. They'll use the appropriate smokes and Molotovs to make sure that no one can stand inside of drop, and then if you try to retake it, they're ready. Coldzera watching for his back on either choke point, so it's extremely difficult to take this back. And once you have drop, this is the middle of the map. you know, screw mid. This is the middle of the map that you can split both A and B.
This is interesting, actually, the way the rotation's working for SK. Attacker does get the pick on Nafly, but... And there is a few helmetless players. Fer doing a good job there. The action was forced. This is a really good round to study, actually, because obviously they lost Phelps. As you mentioned, the first thing you want to look at, okay, how did they take the drop? Second thing you want to look at is how does Fallen, because Fallen's playing alone with an AWP on A long. Like he's clearing that place alone. And then what happens is just as the Molotov is thrown by Fer, which truly clears both drop rooms, then Fallen's in position to catch rotation with his AWP. Like the timing is perfect. As when he's looking towards the doors from A long, he was there for about 10 seconds on that angle. Nothing happened. He rotates back down to middle. He can catch other rotations from that position as his team is still exerting pressure onto B. So it's just like, it looks like only maybe one or two things are happening, like the POV that you get, but like the entire round is constructed around this. So it just adds to your point there.
Yeah, absolutely. They have multiple ways of drawing attention on both A long and B to take attention away from drop, to just make it impossible to focus on one thing at a time for the CTs. And as soon as there is an opportunity, they fall down, and then it's too. You can't give up drop. You can't. It's too. I mean, people do it, and you can if you have 5 players watch both sides. But if you do it, you give. It's like giving up connector, and then allowing for an A split every time. Do you want to have to deal with the A split every time? No, you want to stop the split before it starts, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's so powerful. Like on this map, like on the A side, the craziest thing is like the best way for a CT to deal with it is as you say, like if you take drop, you can stagger the offense. You can offset that timing of how the split works, and that's really the only way to stop it, I think, generally speaking, unless you do some crazy sight hold or something, or people miss some shots.
So the other hardest thing is that, let's say, well, so let's call drop mid because you can split A and B. Say on cash, if T's take mid, every CT will push A main or B main, right, or something, extremity. On Cobble, you don't have many options as CT to push things. So that makes that drop control that much stronger.
So this is going to be a tough round to play back into for Renegades. They do have Nifty on the AWP, of course. They're trying to make do with what they have. Some armors, rifle on JKS. Though he does get dings, but he's done what he needs to do. He's taken again this control of the drop area completely in its entirety. Cold was there to back him up for the repeat there. Nifty was the player with the AWP as well. Let's not forget. And Naf. Oh my God!
No, dude.
God damn!
This is winnable for JKS. There's time pressure for SK. But as time goes on, they will get into better positions. But Phelps has got to put the work in. Maybe Taco peek second. Oh, the flank.
Damn. Nifty had the absolute worst spot possible. That is what the B split is intent on doing, is completely neutralizing the back of the pillar. And you can see him splitting up his attention in 3 different ways, but his reaction. Ooh. Wow, man.
Goodness.
All headshots too.
Wow.
That's insane, honestly. It's insane.
Yeah.
What is it, $500 for a CZ?
No, isn't it 100 or
no, to buy it.
To buy it.
Oh, to buy it. Yeah, 500.
That should be Deagle money at this point, to be honest. It should be 700.
I don't want one more thing to take my attention away from whether or not I should buy a Deagle. I'm not going to buy a revolver because you can't get 1 Deags with a revolver. You can only get 1 Deags with a Deagle. Nothing feels better than that. So I don't have to decide between a CZ and a Deagle.
But you could get a CZ with a flash.
With a flash, yeah.
That's the same as a Deagle.
That's true.
So you could be a team player and a mad fragger at the same time.
Mad lad.
Mad lads.
Hashtag mad lad.
r/mad lads.
Much talking going on in the chat that we can't see. And
I want to know.
That is a server pause, so something technical. One would presume it's happening. Much discussion going on. So I think there is a technical issue that these teams are dealing with at present. Try to find out how long this delay might be.
I would love to. Sorry. Did I interrupt somebody? Oh, oh. That wasn't you guys. The producer was talking. I was like, oh god, I've interrupted somebody like Launders. Oh no. We're back. We're back. Yeah.
So what were you going to say?
I was going to say that it would have been really cool to have seen from Fallen's POV that round where he was clearing A long by himself with an AWP, because that's kind of risque, right?
Yeah,
It's a bit insane. If someone else does it, you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's true. And he's always putting himself in that position. And when he gets a read, he'll just go really far with it. And there he's right. And it's like, was it? How'd you know? You know, like, how are you sure? And there's so many ways that you can attack long A or A in totality. There's so many ways CTs can play it. 2 set up at long, 1 in danger, 1 ready to peek off a flash. So, you know, and just completely calls them out. And sometimes you are, just like you said, KYO, know your opponent. Sometimes you're just playing off a read. And that's what makes it hard to study demo sometimes, right? Because you see someone making a super aggressive play, and you don't know if it's because they played this team on this map and they didn't do it on this round, and they knew they could get away with it here. Or if it's just because they're crazy madmen.
Or because of miscommunication, giving them wrong information.
Oh yeah, that too.
That's another thing we can't know that.
Yeah.
And there's I mean there's just so many instances of that. I mean we talked about it when Nothing was here as well. Like analysts sometimes they're like, oh my god, this play, this is like so awful. This is a terrible decision making. But then you find out if you like talk to the players, yeah, we actually didn't think that we got a call that the AWP was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's like
yeah,
that was like the analyst segment was on that mistake. Oh god.
Yeah, and it's tempting to always say like this was stupid or something, and no, I do it too. But I always try to remember that Socrates quote that everyone's trying to make the best decision. He said in you know a different language, but he said that everyone's always trying to make the best decision possible, right? And so at the very least, if you give them the credit of realizing that they've entered the pro scene and they're top tier versus other top tier teams, that they are making a good decision from what they knew, and you can try to rationalize it from their perspective, just from what you can see.
Not always,
as best as you can. Yeah,
I think not always, because there's sometimes when you don't adapt when you should because you're too invested in your course of action. If you do know what situation I'm talking about, like as a player, like that happens a lot of the time. Like, and that can be down to a variety of reasons, but we can maybe leave that on the side for now. We got the double ults from Naf and Nifty. Are they going to hold this, Launders?
Oh, first running all the way through this. I think he's actually the only person out. So this plays an interesting role, having long B control this way, as he knows that no one's pushed up to long B plat, but oh, he's just fully committing off of it too.
Look at the distraction. They're going to keep the 4 players towards B as the push comes up. Danger. They could actually straight run up the ramp, but Foe will eventually die. But look at all the space he's created on the map. He's created all the space, James. All of the space.
Yeah, and there's still no rotation. Now, they must send a second player, but not before Nifty goes down. He's been an important player for the team so far. JKS on the balcony, but not for long because he is on fire. A lot of fire. Lost half his life, and Renegades are going to give it up. 4 on 4, but those choke points are way too choky, and they do not want those SK hands around their necks, so they'll make their exit.
Like there, we can't know for sure if they did that on the fly, if they were going to commit to B if there wasn't too many nades, or if First said, I'm going to wait here and stay alive as you guys work towards A and then try to sell some kind of fake by getting a kill or dying out here, but holding rotations. You know, that's something we can't know for sure, but it made sense, whatever the reason was. Something I learned from studying MSL's demos on Cobble was that when he always used to use Rubino in his executes to come out long B off the corner of a smoke, and then as soon as the smoke would land, because people would just throw it, and he would take like 40 damage and grenade damage, but he would know for the rest of his team that were about to execute on long B that there's no one on the left side. So they wouldn't have to clear where the stairs area was, they wouldn't have to clear that cubby on the left, and everyone could come out with the backs against the wall, looking forward and being fully focused on the site. And if there was someone out there, Rubino would try to kill him right away. But that's like the information that Fur gained. So he knows that no one was testing long B, that once that smoke goes up, that no one's going to be able to see down long B, and from that he can say that's like a denial of information, so that he can say for his teammates, they can't be sure it's not long B, so we probably can be sure they'll have a 4-1 setup.
Very solid, very cool. And that's the benefit you get from studying demos. It's like it's again, sort of like what we were saying earlier, it's hard to pick out some of these details when you're actually just like casting the match. It's actually, I mean, you need to be able to pause to like really see what happened there. And it's actually the same thing for players too. Like players are often like this is like a rule of thumb that I have, at least whenever I'm like playing a game. If you're playing with a team and people think that you lost because of one reason or any reason, they almost like 99% of the time it's completely wrong, and you lost the game because of something else. But you just didn't see that. It's just like you're very like you have like a lot of confirmation bias because you only have your perspective firstly, and it's a team game. So there's that, and then generally speaking, the way that you kind of lie to yourself sometimes about stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't correctly read the implications. So
it's nice to feel good, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
To feel right.
Yeah.
To feel like you are justice.
Yeah.
The personification. You're Judge Dredd. This is wrong. This is right. Some kind of technical issue is happening. Waiting for an update on it. At the moment, it's going to be a long day of Counter-Strike. Not the best day, but fortunately most days are not like this, so let's bear that in mind.
Yeah. It's just we saved this for launders.
It is a rare occurrence.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Good looking out.
Trial by fire. I think it's been pretty good. We've had some talks about stuff. I guess that's our kind of the job.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think we did it all right.
We did it all right.
C plus. C plus.
Yeah. I'm going for S plus.
S plus.
By the end of the day, I'm about to turn up.
Is there an S plus? Isn't it just like S? Isn't S is just like that's?
I think there's an S plus.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's an S plus. Sometimes there isn't.
Street Fighter, no S plus.
I don't know if there's one. I can't even remember.
In Third Strike, you can get S, but it's just rank S.
Rank S.
Normally
but it doesn't
it's
go
just
to
S.
plus, I think.
Okay, production needs to tell us what's going on. We're just hanging at the moment. All right, we're going to a break while technical issues are sorted out. We'll see you back here shortly.
If you're a fan of crutches, then get your hands on this. But now let's focus on an even greater product, Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform.
Wow, James, that sure sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Dan. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system. Just post one to your friends.
Well, James, that sure is cutting-edge technology.
Radios must be within a 10-metre straight line with clear line of sight and sunny weather with no wind.
Do you keep getting wrecked by hacker noobs online? Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. It feels like there's nothing inside.
That's correct, Dan, but there's more.
Behavioural index to keep you from playing with idiots. An easy way to send in your results. Multiple game titles. And here you can see a happy customer.
It's great!
If you sign up within the next 4 minutes, you will get these items for free. James White's best Christmas songs. Watermelon signed by Dan Black.
Vad fan är det här?
came tumbling down, tumbling down. What would you do if your world came tumbling down, down, down on the ground? What would you do if your world came tumbling down, tumbling down? What would you do if your world came tumbling down, down, down on the ground? Every day is a new dream. You got everything to lose, and every late night makes me lose my mind a little more. It's been a long 4 weeks in the city, trying to teach myself to fly, hoping one day you'll be rolling with me. Now you're gone. What would you do if your world came tumbling down, tumbling down? What would you do if your world came tumbling down, down, down on the ground? What would you do if your world came tumbling down, tumbling down? What would you do if your world came tumbling down, down, down on the ground?
got to say. My heart is on display, but I'm not afraid. Yeah, I'm not afraid. Why you been getting busy? I've been getting dizzy, trying not to keep you in mind. Now all the dirty vibes, certainly enticing, since you came back in my life. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. Do what you gotta do, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. You left without a line. Was it by design? If what you want is time, don't go wasting mine. Don't be wasting mine. Well, it's starting to get old. I'm not trying to be cold. I just think it's time that you see that I can't wait forever. Guess it's now or never, but for you to get with me. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. Do what you gotta do, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, been waiting for you, been waiting for you.
Where you at? Where are you residing? Better lift your head. I know you've been hiding. If you have a side, you better start raving. I've got a lonely soul you could be saving. We're trying to jump, running out of time. I just wanna be with you till the day I die. We're trying to jump, running out
Hello, welcome back after a prolonged delay. Hope you're still with us. You're still with us, James.
Firstly, apologies for the delays. Fortunately, they are rare, but still. Ideally, they don't ever happen. And at least they're all happening in one day. So hopefully we can see the resolution of this match and go on to the next one. 6-0 is the score. Thank you for your patience if you're still with us. Phelps lining up some smokes to isolate some CT players to put them on a decision. Which decision will it be? The decision to fall back and give up the space, or is it Nifty with a leg shot?
I think the risk you run when you jump over a smoke to line up an off shot is you have landing accuracy. But we do see a lot of offers doing it, and I think he maybe was a victim to that, but still got some damage in, which is really good.
So SK, I like this rounds. Some teams are a little bit sloppy and don't put enough stock in taking map control towards A. It is obviously like an important part of the default for this map, and SK are really amazing at doing it. And you know, we can see here they've got that A control, they've got that presence towards drop and previously plateau as well. So right now it's very obscure what Renegades can do, and they have lost complete information on A long. So that poses issues for Renegades. And look at SK, they can just set up an execution of a set piece from their position.
JKS with a lot to do here, exposed to two places at the same time. Didn't have much cover to the left-hand side. Nifty's here though. Molotov will force him away. He's got support on the right of the APC from Azza, but Azza goes down. Two places here. They will have surely heard the scope trying to trade, and they will do exactly that. 3 versus 2 for the T side. Replanting it. We see Ustillo in the underpass, and Nafly making his way from the connector position. Difficult for Nafly, but at least Ustillo's got his right-hand side. Fallen getting picked off. Taco just about covering his teammate. And now Renegades have the information, but sorry, SK do. Ustillo doesn't know where the trade fragger is, looking for him in all the positions he could potentially be, but it is underneath the balcony that Cold Zero will creep. Taco making his way around the corner, looking for the high ground, looking for double peek. Can he find Taco? He's up on high ground. He's not revealing his position. Just about getting the kill. You see the frustration there from Taco. Realizes that he maybe almost lost the round, but there we go. The clean sheet remains for SK, 7-0.
This is why I think Cobble is such a bad map, honestly. Like with the cover at A, you have to rely on gimmicks almost to find your kills. Like we saw JKS in a spot behind a wall looking at lower A to fight, and maybe he shouldn't have been there, but it's not even really possible to cover him from that angle like safely as a teammate, where you can maybe sit at the truck, but it's still extremely hard for him to fall back. So there isn't a lot to work with, and the other thing is that forward A control is pretty easy to take as a T. It's very easy to get CTs off of it, and sometimes CTs will be up there by themselves, just waiting for anyone to test them at all, and then they fall all the way back to the site and call for rotates. It's kind of like it's not a very deep meta, and I don't appreciate it very much, but SK do a good job of abusing that fact, and always going for it, whether they send one person or 4.
It does somewhat blow my mind how little you see it from certain teams on the T side when it is so incredibly powerful, and it's very hard for the CTs to, without risk, do anything against it.
Yeah.
Phelps will catch a free frag here. That's really nice for him. That's all he's going to get, maybe. Or there is a second player to potentially respond. Doesn't realize, though. Does get caught off guard, but that is one player out of the picture for the B defense at the moment. But still, SK have not really pushed all that much towards B, so there are issues here for them, and they're going to have to commit to B, and down the plateau they walk.
Nafly has a lot to do with this 5-7. I think his teammate's facing in the other direction, but he's got 2 teammates there. Oh, he's going to get taken down in isolation. So they're both focusing on this area, and it's Ustillo's job on the plateau. I don't know what happened there. As a caught with a grenade in his hand, and this is collapsing for Renegades, or is it? It's Fallen remaining with 22 HP. He's looking for the trade fragger now, who is slowly making his way on the plateau. Not required, but it was more expensive for Renegades than it needed to be.
Definitely, and at least for them, they were able to win the round because it has been 7 rounds in a row for SK, but it's not the end of the battle for them. SK tons of money and a full buy-up. Have to try again. Now, they did fail a drop control there, which is a really important part, as we pointed out before the break. With SK, they take it and have Fur there, and he gets E-boxed, then it's going to be hard to stop any kind of B aggression, but going 1-for-1 at A helped a lot, and also shutting down Fur as he tried to take a flash peek into E-box for further control. So, big turning point.
Yeah, and for SK, I mean, they must absolutely love playing T-side Cobble because there's so much for them to abuse. And it's much harder on other maps to attain so much map control, to obscure what they're doing as much. And looking to be proactive are Renegades at the moment. Looking down plateau, you're still only with an M4 though. You have to be careful of the potential for an AWP. The AWP, however, is towards the A side of the map. In Fallen's hands, you can see him there now. Moving in with Phelps, trying to take control down here in ramp. And again, SK, they're pressuring both sides of the map, and there's 1 minute left. There's still no way for Renegades to know which way they're going.
That was so sick how they took lower A there. The crossing fat flashes and oh wow, Taco just walked out.
What is going on?
Oh my god.
First the A site, now the B bomb site. Just free kills. This is absolutely free. It's gratis for the SK side. But maybe they have a fighting chance. First still in connector.
Yeah, they did allow the opportunity for there to be
excuse me.
Maybe for Renegades to go for it, but they're not going to, I don't think.
What a way to lose a round where it's like, if we lose this round, guys, we get reset. Oh god. Just 2 free kills.
I think maybe Taco did something very meta there where he was on the front side of the long control, and because they didn't push up to take advantage of it, he thought, or he figured, all right, they're not going to worry about this until someone throws a flash to retake long. But he knows that no one's pushed up because he actually peeked out. So I think he waited long enough that he felt comfortable walking.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Do you miss playing?
What's that?
Do you miss playing Counter-Strike?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so much. It's a lot of work though, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's really becomes a job. I feel like
it's all consuming.
And we're seeing the teams that are at the top of their game, but there's only a handful of those players, and the rest of them are working just as hard. But
grinding away in the basement.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have FNS tattooed on your hand?
Yeah, it was. I used to rap. I had a group, and her name was FNS. So it was me and my friends all got FNS tattoos.
Thank God.
I just looked up to a specific brown Counter-Strike player, and I idolized him, and so I got a tattoo.
That would have been so good if you trolled it. Like, that would have been super sick.
I am a good reader of liars. You're getting away with that one.
Maybe he's lying right now. Maybe it is actually.
I've looked into your poker career, so do you know that?
Okay, well, SK are going for old school cobblestone where they just go out and peek people, and why not? Because it seems to be working across the entire map for them in this game of cobblestone.
It's kabobulous. Simply kabobulous.
Well, it's a pistol round, so we'll just witness the slaughter. There's an ooh from production for the 1 pistol kill Renegades got in that round.
Witness the sickness.
Oh, look at you.
That's an AK name.
Look at you rhyming with rhymes.
It's very hip hop.
I forget which that's a lyric from a hip hop trap. I forget which one it is. I mean, this is pretty generic, so that's probably there are quite a few.
Lyricist, physicist. How about that for rap?
Isn't that not just a CV? Anyway, Taco looking to just be cheeky still. Ooh, lost bullets. Azza is done. This is. Can someone explain?
SK
what's going on really?
Probably think that their opponents are making so many mistakes they just do not care, and perhaps getting a bit sloppy.
Yeah. James, who is the Cloud9 analyst, who's been doing ESL Pro League, pointed out that SK seemed to game harder on certain teams than other teams. A lot of teams talk about how they give them a lot of respect in scrims and stuff like that. But you can definitely see when SK played like Cloud9 on Cobble or something, they're playing really carefully. I think they do recognize them as international tier competition. And I think Renegades are on the cusp, honestly. I feel like their lineup is very solid. I think Nifty first of all has come into his own. I think that Nafly is a great addition to the team, and is I feel like was maybe not on par with Rush, but I feel like he's just that. Have you ever seen Digimon? You know, like Togepi, how he turns into the like Archangel or whatever when you need him. You know what I mean? I feel like he has that same clutch quality as Togepi.
Nice.
And we do see that.
I did watch Digimon. I do remember
Digimon.
the theme tune, but I don't remember anything else.
I don't know any of the Mons, Pokemon, Digimon.
You know, too cool.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Mod.
No.
I think I remember which.
I was Transformers and Thundercats and Thunderbirds.
But all that, well, I guess all that
have-
stuff was long before.
Why not just have Thunderbirds when you can also have
Mods.
Thundercats? Add the birds and the cats.
It's true. And then there's the music as well.
I think I remember the artist that I think it's Roots Maneuver. I'm thinking of Roots Maneuver, UK artist. Shout out to UK rap scene.
I like UK EDM.
Okay, we're gonna have to introduce you to UK hip hop at some point.
Yeah, I'll listen to a little bit. Just a tiny bit. But it's I'm sure it's just the surface level stuff that has made its way to America.
We have some experts in production, so we'll get you some crash courses
Okay.
in UK hip hop. Well, SK looking like they're giving a crash course to Renegades. T-side. Well, to all of us. T-side. Well, it was like that until now. I think until now, recent rounds of this are running at them. So I guess maybe not. Maybe not at all. So.
Yeah, I mean, respect is earned, right? Like, teams
Yes.
teams always talk about how
It's not giving its
oh,
own.
they're just running over us. This isn't practice. And it's like, you can't run over a really good team.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
or a team that in that moment is better than you.
Yeah, I think I can see like the difference that some people might sort of posit there, because it's like, well, some teams they play with that respect to the degree that they wouldn't do it in a match, right? And maybe they'll run over you, but they're taking an extraordinary risk. So I can kind of see where some people are coming from, you know.
Yeah. So that's something that can't be said in a match, though.
That's true. That is true. That is very true.
I've definitely heard that in scrims. Oh, as scrimming in North America, that's something that people talk about all the time. You know, this team isn't worth playing. They don't play like this in matches.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot actually. Yeah. I can see that.
Sometimes it feels good to downplay the other team just for the sake of camaraderie. I think that's another reason why releasing team comps can be dangerous, because I feel like you are sometimes bashing the other team unknowingly, or just because you're trying to uplift your own.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that's like almost always the case. Actually, I think it's rare that people really like.
The French do it a lot.
Malicious, you know. It's not never really malice. It's It is. It's just like hooah.
Yeah.
Team. Let's go team.
If your teammate misses, unlucky, right? If someone makes a play on them, unlucky.
I just say deserved.
Deserved?
Deserved.
Foul play.
You made a bad play.
You came from a 1v1 game.
Well, it's SK, taking drop as you were talking about. They still have the Molotovs to clear the second room if they so desire. Fur does he have it? Yeah, nope, he's got the smoke. He's Cold Zero and Fallen with the Molotovs, and out they go. Connector. Az is just going to be chilling, man. He's just chilling there by the pillar. Able to get a kill as JKS receives the push, all the info there for Renegades, and with 10 seconds left, SK are dead.
Nice.
What happened there?
Good hold all around. Azza played an important role outside of drop, not dying. I don't know why they didn't try to clear it properly. They were still 5v5. They didn't have info on the back of the window, and as they smoked out E-box, you would assume that the CTs would try to pick up the window because they don't know if it's going to be B or not, and instead they let him just stand on the other side of the pillar and kind of jiggle around it and get a kill. That was important. That's what happened.
Okay, well, they need to make some consistency out of this. Oh, that's a great catch from Naf.
Yeah, and then you can see Taco's trying to bounce those nade off the wall. He's not even trying to peek, so he's barely giving up anything.
Taco was caught with his hand in the cookie jar, James.
I've never had a cookie jar.
Really?
Yeah.
That was even before your time, then.
I just had, you know, a bag of cookies from the store, and you just used the bag.
What did you think about you, James? I was talking about Taco. You made it about you immediately.
Because you said James.
Yeah,
you made it about me.
No, I wanted you to comment about the Taco getting his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Well, I can't relate
Like,
because I never had a cookie jar. That's the point. Where's my cookie jar, right? What about my cookies?
We'll
some stuff unsurfacing right now.
We touched enough about the cookies. This man needs some cookies.
Too fat for cookies, it's got to be honest.
No, we'll just bring you the jars. I'll take the cookies. Bring you the jar. Well, I can't really eat them either.
Pass me the lettuce. Cheers.
Oh, this is not working out so well for SK at the moment. Trying to make plays across the map now. It's a good pick off from Phelps actually, but there's 25 seconds. if there's more time, you feel like, okay, this is a really winnable round if they have time for rotations and so on. But SK just have to just explode and go for it.
He still is not holding for him. Oh yeah, yeah, he was watching too wide.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, there. Nafly has revealed his position, but there are 7 seconds left. Can the bomb go down? They are surrounded. Nafly just needs to survive, and there's no angle to plant the bomb. Renegades getting a fighting chance in the dying rounds of the first half.
That was kind of a really good spray control there to get that second headshot.
That's how the cookie crumbles, James.
The shoe is on
There wasn't much crumbling with my cookies. I guess it was preservatives.
But they should rock hard. Just like.
Oh, poor James.
He's gone. He's dead now. Dead now, of course. Well, note to self, do not talk about cookies around James.
Yeah, triggers.
We've got a fast push in from SK, looking to close out this first half with speed, but they will be dealt with quite quickly. Cold though. Man, this is just SK, isn't it?
Yeah, that looked like it was going to fail hard. Nifty, Naf got those 2 kills, both one at drop, one at long. 2 ways to shut down the push, and I'm Cold in 1v2. He's looking on point though. He's very aware. He's got lots of time left too. I mean, he could easily win this. Bomb down's a whole different game. He has a smoke to separate him from the site too. Yeah. So even if he doesn't use this smoke right, they have to assume that he could have crossed. So he's got options.
Cold's move, like cross-side movement, is incredibly smooth.
Yeah, it's not even that fast, right? Which is interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I can, and it's like very precise as well. If he needs to be, like, can be super slow.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't normally notice this about players, but his is very smooth. I can almost see his mouse on the mouse pad. But enough about that as they start to move their way in onto his position. Can Cold do it for the quad kill here? The clutch. Oh, there's the spray. Oh, he gets the kill, but
no time. That's close.
Oh, this is so damn close.
Oh, he has
got it.
Wow.
That was insane close.
Yeah, that was very, very close. They gave him so much respect too. They went for the big rotate instead of doing 2 1v1s, even though they had a big flank. And yeah, came down to the wire. I noticed that Cold's aim is it's got quite similar to Nico's in my opinion.
So one of the things about Cold as well, I want to make I was going to make a mouse control point, but we don't have gameplay now, so ruined. Never mind. Just have to hold on to that gem forever.
Stupid Counter-Strike happening in front of us.
I say that, but no, I'm just silent. So could have just continued.
Well, seems to be a lot of downtime, which you do get on Cobble because there's so much of the map that T's can clear, and sometimes CTs sometimes you don't even have to be pushed up CT.
Maybe we should look at Fallen now to see how he's taking angles with the AWP. He does have support this time. He's not alone. Obviously, his teammates have made their way into drop, so I don't want to mess up your observing too much, Connor. I know that you're doing this for us, but they're working into the split here. Fallen still holding the angle, has the support. So we're pretty much on Fallen cam here just to see how he handles this, how he supports the push. There's the refrag from Fallen. Good stuff. The bomb is on Cold at the moment. As we continue on Fallen cam just to see again how he's playing the angles, how he's moving around. Watching for the rat hole position as well as the doors, which are now smoked off. Good job by the CTs forcing the reposition from Fallen. As he makes his way around, he's focusing on balcony, but also can go for the peek towards rat hole. There it is. Takes down Ustilla. Great timing there.
That is a double-edged sword of... Whoa, just get hit through the wall?
I think so, yeah.
That's the last round, so he's got to go for it. I think that's a double-edged sword of throwing a flash sometimes, because if the flash isn't good, that's just a cue to peek, right? Because the other team, is going to feel like, okay, someone's going to be blind. I can run out, I can wide peek. And in that situation, Fallen hears this flash pop. It doesn't blind him because he's behind stable. And he peeks out and easily catches him running out of the rifle. That's a sense of false confidence almost, whereas if they assume they had no flashes, then maybe Fallen doesn't even peek. Maybe he gets a lot more ground.
But instead, it's victory.
Yeah.
SK victory. They will be on the pistol on the CT side now, so we could see how well Renegades are versed in their Cobbler's fundamentals. I think typically they have been good on this map, so we'll see how it goes, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, I would say The only thing, Renegades just aren't all that layered. I would say they're more execute heavy, I think, but they do have really good executes. So, and there's nothing like T-side Cobble to give you the freedom to set up in a 5v5 over any other map. It's not demanded of you to work for anything really before you want to go into an execute.
James sat down.
James is dying.
Then immediately left again after voicing his dissatisfaction with his asthma.
12, by the way.
That's good job there, production. That was very nice, but more needed. But Renegade is able to actually clear their way onto the B site here. There is obviously, well, now just one player left here for the SK side. It's not an easy one for Taco as he makes his way forwards. Taco is so impossibly difficult. Gets a pop. Can he actually pull this one out of the bag as he turns the corner, looking for those players? You never know in a pistol round. It's all down to the headshots as Taco gets close to the bomb. He can now pressure it. He doesn't have a kit. That is a big issue. Here comes the flick, but it just can't quite get the connections, and that's what Renegades have to do. Just play the time. You don't even have to frag Taco. He hasn't got a kit. They'll make the frag happen though in the end. And I'm curious about the usage of that. That's I don't even know what it's called, that little horn sound, because isn't that usually used after like a missed joke or something, like a failed?
Yeah.
There was nothing really going on.
No.
It was just kind of out of the blue.
Strange.
So I guess we need to fire some people then, I guess.
It's an odd thing to do.
Oh, it's a sad trombone. Okay. They played a sad trombone for you, James, apparently. Apparently it was sad.
I can't really talk yet.
Okay.
I got a hot drink, but it's too hot. I burned my tongue. so I'm
everything's falling apart
until I could actually drink it. Bye.
Alright, well, as he says, we've got the scout there on Fallen, just a single smoke grenade as well. You've got to be cautious in these rounds. I mean, you spoke to Renegade's set-piece executions, but we may not see one. The bomb is towards the A site at the moment.
You know, I think teams need to think about, are we always being useful? Like, if they don't have a set goal in the round, that's when players get picked off, and then that's when you lose into ecos, right? So does everyone know their job? Has their IGL delegated responsibilities to everybody, and do they all know that they're actually working on something? Or they're all just hanging out until like a certain time for no particular reason, which allows CTs to, who maybe have a plan to get something done.
And also if there's scouts in the field, they can get picks, they can rotate, use mobility, but they won't run into that issue just yet. Fallen does have one, but Phelps amongst the smoke. He's going to use that to expert effect. They will eventually take him down with a fire through that smoke. However, Cole's still lurking around with the CZ. We've seen how much damage they